Opie and Dopey.
Two guys that hate each other.
Just shut your mouth.
I hate them.
Shut up.
Don't be unkind.
Shut up, bitch.
Oh, very nice.
Shut the fuck up.
You're a fine bunch of bullies, aren't you?
I'm Opie.
I could give a fuck. I'm Jim Norton, and I'm on the radio.
Shut up.
The Opie and Anthony Show. It's all about fun, fun, fun.
I'd love to spit in your face.
I will fucking kill you.
Shut up, stupid.
I'm just a zilch and I know it.
Who cares? We're trying to do a fucking radio. I know what we're trying to do. I'm sitting here across from you. I understand that.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
Despicable asshat.
And these dummies that work for us, you guys stink.
Ben looks like a tall baby.
Always laughing in the wrong places.
Ben, where's the coffee?
You rock.
Hopefully he's going through a car wash with his mouth open.
And there's Steve.
Steve is a piece of garbage.
And you stink.
You are cordially invited to a robbery rape.
This is family entertainment.
This show is a disaster.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
If you have any poo, fling it now.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Hey, how do you become a radio DJ?
Say the name of the station over and over. Play at least a half-hour commercials. Broadcast live from the Quickie Mart. Smash lots of sounds together. Talk on and on about how you invented radio. Tell 'em, Fred. Play the same songs again and again and again and again.
Has a hurdle to overcome. Today, she went before the city's retirement board. What she wants the board to do is to increase her compensation annually, the retirement compensation, from $109,000 a year to nearly $150,000. Well, the chief was successful in one suspect today.
XM Satellite Radio. Opie and Anthony are back on XM Satellite Radio.
Maybe you can greet me.
Nice. I can't get enough of that guy from Springfield.
With the cape.
With the cape, that's right. The latest assault on the media from Tim in Springfield, Massachusetts. The video's up on opieandanthony.com and foundrymusic.com. Well, we have like 4 days left in the contest for July.
Yes.
What day are we up to?
I don't know. My watch date thing never works.
July 28th? So, how many days in July? 31.
30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31 except for February, which has 28. And then leap year, it's got 29.
Forget Aristotle and fuck
That's
Socrates.
easy.
Here comes Professor Anthony.
No, Anthony, it's easy for you. I will put
That's a little rhyme.
I will put money down today. There's not one other person in this area that knows that.
That heard
exactly
that little,
like that.
That little rhyme.
We've all heard it, but we can't recite it word for word like Professor Anthony.
I'm not Professor Anthony. Just know a little bit about a few things.
So real fast, the assault on the media. 3 days left, 4 days left, whatever.
Yeah.
You got to beat Tim in Springfield to win the MiFi and a day in the studio with the show.
The Caped Crusader.
And then we start all over again in August.
Yeah.
I believe so far we have a MiFi, and we'll throw some other prizes around it. Okay?
Of course we will.
And we'll just keep doing it over and over and over again.
Having fun with the press.
That's right. Well, I just saw a graphic, speaking of the press.
Yeah.
Does Houston have a problem?
Oh, that's a good one. They're a little nervous
there it
about
is.
the space shuttle.
Good morning, America.
Oh.
Does Houston have a problem? Diane Sawyer is going to tell us what's wrong with the space shuttle. Great. Shut up and just...
She knows?
Shut up and just keep looking hot.
Oh, she's got a space shuttle model in her hand.
Wait, I got to hear a little of this.
We don't
Her voice
know
is deep.
yet how deep it is, and we won't therefore know whether or not it poses any danger until after we look at that.
A final question, if I can, Mike.
Sure.
A personal question for you. Sleepless night
Sure.
for you, and what are you saying to the families of this crew?
Well, I think the families are
What do you think
like
he's
the
saying
rest
to the
of us
families?
in the NASA
Diane.
family.
We'll bring 'em
we
home.
do understand that these are risky missions. This mission in particular.
I'm sure he made a
is
phone
test flight.
call. You know what?
We,
I don't know what's
I'll
going to happen.
emphasize again,
We're not
we actually
sure.
think
It's pretty
Discovery
risky
is fine
business.
Based on
I think
everything
these
we
guys knew
know
what they were getting
at this
themselves
point.
into.
Yeah.
There is information still being analyzed, data
Might
yet
want to
to
go
come
satin
in.
pillow shopping.
But right now, we think we're looking at an
Oh,
exceptionally
that's
clean
awful.
All right, Mike Griffin, NASA Administrator, thank you again for being with us.
Diane.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for being
I'm
with
going
us.
to turn now to Jim
Oh.
Ottawa. The rest of the morning
You are a
headlines.
sick
Jim?
man.
Good morning, Diane. More suspected.
Good morning,
sick.
Diane.
Apparently the shuttle, I think this one, they had a lot of cameras on it, saw a lot of trash falling off of this thing. They say nothing hit the orbiter itself, so it should be okay, but they're checking everything. There's a tile missing by the nose gear, doors, which could be a problem, but I think this stuff's been happening since day one, since they launched the first shuttle. I think it was just a matter of time before something hit the orbiter, like last time with the Columbia, and fucked it up. I think, though, this shit's been happening the whole time. Enough stuff falls around it, and eventually it's going to get hit. And they showed this time around. They made a real effort to make sure nothing hits the orbiter, nothing falls off of the fuel tanks, and still, you saw all the pictures and videos, stuff is just flying off of this thing. They can't stop it, so they grounded the entire shuttle fleet. No more shuttle launches until they figure this problem out, or maybe never. They might just all end up in museums now. That's it. They got to figure out a different way to do this. They have a contingency plan just in case they find something where the shuttle can't come back. And I think that's why this mission is also going to the space station up there. If they have a problem, they're all going to get off the space station and come back a couple at a time on those little Russian friggin' capsules.
Oh, my God.
Those Soyuz capsules.
The Soyuz.
And just, I guess, leave the shuttle up there or jettison it so it could burn up somewhere. I don't know what they would do with it. That's an expensive thing to just let fall back through the atmosphere, but that seems to be where they're at right now. That's got to be a hell of a ride down with that in the Russian one. Because they don't even splash down. They hit on land. They come down with big parachutes and hit on land, unlike the Apollo, which used to hit in the water, made a much softer landing. Those Russians are just, very good to be back home. They're like a foot shorter, compressed spines.
I think they're just a little tougher than us.
And the Americans are used to gliding in. Hey, we just landed. Oh, boy. Let me get my baggage.
What's to eat?
Yeah, a little hungry. The Ruskies, though, boom!
Bam!
Hitting Siberia somewhere.
Yeah. Well, that'll be interesting if they keep the shuttle up there and they have to do it that way.
Yeah.
It's just a joke. I mean, they had a couple of years there, to figure this stuff out. And
that's just it. This is a problem they can't figure out.
It seems like the same shit.
Same shit. Big chunks of this foam insulation falling off of this thing.
And you make a good point now that the camera angles are so much better on these takeoffs, and while they're going through all their maneuvers, you get to see a lot more of this stuff and a lot more of this stuff falling off.
It's kind of out of sight, out of mind beforehand. The stuff was falling off. They'd find it and be like, oh, well, now they're seeing it's just missing the wings. And, any one of these pieces that fell off could have hit a critical part of the orbiter and made it so it couldn't come back.
And, of course, this was happening the whole time.
Yep.
NASA tells you if you live within, 10 miles or something of one of these shuttle liftoffs, you got to make sure you're not setting your car alarms and stuff because the shaking is going to get your car alarm going.
Yeah.
So, of course, with all that shaking, something's going to be jarred loose every single time.
Yeah, the thing's rattling around. Just debris flying off of the thing. And last time it hit some place on the orbiter that was pretty critical, and they all ended up burning up. And this time, now there's a piece of tile missing underneath. They're going to have to fix that one. Guaranteed someone is going to have to get out of that thing, go completely on the bottom side of this, and patch up that hole. Somebody's got to do it.
With a little grout?
A little grout.
A little
spackle.
A little spackle.
Take the spackle out.
It's got to be a drag for the astronauts because, they finally get to go up.
Yeah.
Have any of them been up before?
Yeah, quite a few of them.
Right.
I think there's only one guy.
Okay.
Maybe two.
But, they wanted to enjoy this, and now they have to sit there wondering, how the hell are we getting back?
Oh, boy, is this going to be a problem?
Is there going to be a problem?
Going to burn up.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be a nice thought, coming back home. One of the Queen's moms, it's a guy up there from Queens, and his 78-year-old mom is upset. And she's yelling. She's in the news yelling at NASA. I think your son knew what he was getting himself into. They know more than anybody.
Isn't it great, though?
A problem.
Not to interrupt. Isn't it great, though, that a mom will always be a mom no matter what?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter if she's yelling at your teacher at school or NASA, the head of NASA.
Exactly.
Your moms will always be a mom.
She's in the paper. Why were they lying? They said a few things came off, and these are bigger pieces than they said. She was the one also that said that when her son was playing football in school and the entire opposing team jumped on her son, she ran onto the field and started throwing the kids off of her son and pulling him out of the pile. And she goes, now I feel I'm powerless to do anything because he's up there, and she can't, save him again. And she's upset that NASA wasn't honest. I think they were honest. I just think there's only so much they could do. They want to keep the space program going, and they thought they had everything under control. Apparently they don't. There's these ramps that help out the aerodynamics on the fuel tank, that big orange fuel tank. And for some reason, they cannot keep the insulation on these ramps. They need the ramps to keep the thing steady as it ascends. And they just can't keep the insulation on this thing. I don't even know why they need the goddamn insulation. I think it loses a lot of the fuel they use is very cold. But who cares if it's cold? Why do they have to insulate the thing?
Nobody likes to be chilly.
The little thing, the orbiter crew would be a little chilly with that big cold tank next to them.
There's got to be a reason for that, obviously.
They need an entire revamp of the whole thing. I think they got to move on, put us back on the moon, get some kind of Mars mission going. That's what they're really pushing now. What they need is the space station as a launching point for the moon missions and the Mars missions. I don't think they're going to just redo the Apollo missions again the same way they did it. They want some kind of a space station stopover, and then from the space station go to the moon or points elsewhere. The shuttle is pretty crucial for bringing up stuff to build this space station. If the shuttle missions are discontinued, that station is just going to be what it is up there, which is half built, nothing, and that'll affect the moon and Mars missions. So.
And a waste, because they'll probably have to rebuild the whole damn thing because,
Well, they got to figure out a better economical way to bring materials up to keep building this thing, and they don't even have anything on a drawing board yet. They've depended so much on the shuttles over the years, they don't even have a plan of something else that can bring materials and manpower up there to build this. So they've really dropped the ball.
And there you have it. All right, let's go to Bill. What's up, Bill?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good, Bill.
Hey, I got the solution to their problem with those ramps on that fuel tank.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Well, they just need to duct tape it. You know the old saying, if you can't duck it, fuck it.
If you can't duck it, fuck it. Duct tape. When I was in air conditioning, I used to use it for everything.
That's right. It works, doesn't it?
If the muffler was falling off of my work truck, or if I just cut myself and needed stitches, duct tape.
Duct tape.
I'd wrap my hand up, finish up what I was doing, go to the hospital to get stitches, and they'd have to cut the duct tape off. Duct tape is the best.
You know what might work, too, if they want to save these people? How about having Saturn build the next shuttle, and this way the thing won't take off. It'll just sit there in the parking garage, even though it's only 3 years old and there's 30,000 miles on it. Piece of shit.
I want to show you my psychic prowess right now. I'm feeling someone in this room has a car problem, some trouble with their car. I don't think it's Kev or Eric. No. Jimmy, I'm detecting a problem with your automobile.
Funny you should say that. Didn't want to mention it.
Yeah.
That car only has 30,000 miles?
35,000 miles.
I've had nothing. Either the maintenance department is atrocious. This is the second day in a row yesterday that it wouldn't start.
What does it do when you turn the key?
I didn't know the guy from the garage was going to do it. He said it just won't start, like it won't get enough gas or whatever.
Does it go? Or does it
No,
just
I
go
don't think it does
click,
that.
click?
I don't know what it's doing this time, to be honest with you.
If it's a fuel problem, then it's probably going. And then you sit there going, pump the gas, turn the key. Fuck!
But we're all stupid. We try it one more time.
Then you got to sit there.
Not enough energy.
You sit even longer.
Yeah.
While the battery does something to itself.
Yeah.
And then you just get. You get the half turn. You're so confident when it's going. Don't turn it anymore.
Right.
I got to find the problem now. Now I got to find the problem because I don't have much battery left. Let me fiddle under the hood. This looks like an alien being. I have no clue what this is. Let me try to.
Let me scrape off the connections that go to the battery.
That's got to be it.
Right.
Let me. I used to fool with the distributor, but there isn't even a distributor in this. I don't even know what this engine is. Oh, no. And then this one. You ever get that? You're done. You're done. You don't know what yours was doing?
No, because again, it was the parking guy who went down to get it, but it's the second day in a row. The first day it wouldn't start, they finally got it started.
Oof.
Whatever it is, I hate this car.
God, that is not supposed to
It's
happen.
paid in full. It's the first time I ever had a car paid in full, and I want to just drive it off the GW bridge into the Hudson River and just watch it drown.
Hey, some people can take care of problems like that. You know what I mean?
It's already paid off, and
Know
they're
what I
starting
mean?
to give me nothing for it. Oh, yeah.
What's the blue book? What's the blue book?
$8. Piece of shit. Never buy another. Why do I buy American? Why?
Well, I have a General Motors product, and I'm fairly happy with it. I do believe the Jap cars or even the foreign ones, they have their share of recalls and breakdowns, but you know, I have no problem. You bought one of those real economy models, you know what I mean?
But what? No, this is the Saturns. This is the
you
best
were
one.
roped in by their cult-like commercials of these young people that are very happy with the service and everything. It's like, you know what Saturn is? It's like the Mac of cars. It's like they're young and too cool for the room, but watching their money because they're just coming up in the world. You shouldn't be driving a Saturn, my friend. You should be in Cadillac.
I love that car. I tell you not to buy anything. It's not going to start. It's just annoying because I had one. I got $150,000 on it. It was great. And this one, I've been in the shop maybe 8 or 9 times already in
there's
30,000
no reason.
miles.
8 or 9 times.
With different, like a couple of times it was because I knocked mirrors off, which was my fault, backing up in the city. But then it takes too long to get them fixed. It's just, I'm disgusted.
Remember
with
when
this
it used to just be a mirror? It could take
10
minutes to fix.
You would go down. I'll tell you what I used to do.
Motors and wires and I don't know what the hell's going on with those side mirrors now.
You go down to Roadside Auto Parts and you pick up a mirror and you zip screw it into your door.
And you were done.
Adjust it. Now you're off and running again. Now forget about it. Yeah, there's motors in there, electronics. I think the mirror has an airbag in it.
Right.
There's like 20,000 components to these goddamn mirrors. You knock a mirror off hundreds of dollars later.
Hey, to interrupt really fast, is Travis watching TV today? That's his new job on the show?
What a gig this guy's got.
They're doing a whole Bigfoot story on one of these channels.
Oh, if he doesn't have the Bigfoot story,
Bigfoot's
fired.
It might be on, unless we change the channels in here, Ben. Ben's listening in the office. It's Channel 7, I think.
That footage of Bigfoot has been disproven already. It's been shown to be false.
Well, which one? The one from the 67 in the woods?
Yeah, the guy that falls off his horse.
How'd they show that? I didn't know they'd disprove that.
The guy that took the film said it was fake.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Somebody that we
pretty
set
much on
this
his
up.
deathbed or something.
Was it his deathbed confession or was Nessie the deathbed? I'm not sure.
Nessie was
I know
deathbed.
Nessie was Nessie.
The surgeon's photo, it's called, in Nessie.
Yeah.
Surgeon's photo. That's a deathbed confession.
They all had that deathbed guilt and finally wreck our buzz.
It was me.
It was.
I know a couple of crop circle people have come forward and said they did it with sticks and tape measures.
It's not guilt, by the way. It's just they finally want the satisfaction of putting their middle finger up at everybody's face and going, I got you, scumbag.
It was me, asshole.
All right, let's
go.
All
your little fantasies.
Let's go to Doug.
Gone.
Doug? Hello, Doug.
Yeah.
What's up, Doug?
Hey, you guys actually think we went to the moon?
Oh, here's one of these guys again. Are you kidding, or are you really one of those psychopaths?
No, it's not. It's not a psychopath thing. It's all for real.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, when was it? 1969.
Yeah. Here come all the things we could read on websites. Yeah, what's the problem with 1969 and the moon landing?
And we've never been back to the moon.
We went back.
1969.
Yes, we have, you idiot.
Tell him, Anthony.
There was Apollo 11.
That's right.
Through Apollo 17, my friend,
13
with only 13 missing. But it was all those made it to the moon.
Okay.
All the way up till, I think, 72, right?
In
Is that when it
the
was?
in the past 25 years, we've never gone back to
The missions were done. We moved on to the shuttle program to build a space station.
And you could also send probes. You didn't have to send a guy when you could send things to probably do it and pick up what you needed. We had never sent a guy to Venus, but we picked up stuff off on Mars.
Well,
actually.
when's the last time you've seen any footage from the moon?
We didn't have to.
You're getting your face smashed. You thought that they went once, and Anthony just told you they went 11 times, and you went, oh, okay.
Not only
You don't
that,
know
my
what you're talking
friend,
about.
Here we go. In the very near future, they've already they're working on this. There's a satellite that is going to orbit the moon with a very high-resolution camera on it that is going to take actual pictures of the lunar landing sites to see how they're holding up over this much time. And they will be able to take high-resolution pictures of the rovers and the bases of the lunar modules that were down there.
All right, so what about the Hubble? Why can't the Hubble take pictures of that?
It's not made for that.
The Hubble was built to see the beginning of time. That's what the Hubble is for, is to see back, to see if it can see the beginning of time.
Well, no, that's wrong, because when the Hubble...
It's not wrong. That's what it was built for.
No, when the Hubble...
Dude, the Hubble... Let me tell you something. The way the Hubble's...
When the Hubble was first put up there, it saw nothing. The lenses were wrong. It brought back, like, the crappiest fucking...
They weren't... Yes,
Dude.
they had to reshape the lenses. Yes, so what's your point?
The Hubble's mission wasn't to take pictures of the moon. It's to take pictures of the outsides of the universe.
Deep space.
Deep space. It would be like sitting here and me trying to look at Opie through binoculars. You can't focus. It's not built for that.
And there's no reason for it.
No, you're one of these...
There's no reason for what?
You're one of these conspiracy people.
Sir, you don't have one fact. You're one of those guys that read something on the net. You like to sound really smart around your friends who are drinking at a party. You're the type of dude that would just raid his Miller Lite and go, you know, dude, we never went to the moon. Really, dude? That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And you have no facts.
Yeah, nothing to back it up.
Wrong.
Okay,
that's
say
wrong.
it. Well, the Hubble is...
There's all kinds of facts.
Yeah, let's
There's
hear one.
all kinds of facts.
Let's hear one.
There's one movie.
Not a movie. Let's hear one.
You should check out.
No, I shouldn't.
A funny thing happened on the way to the moon.
Wow, yeah. Let's hear one fact.
Yeah, let's hear a fact, sir.
One fact?
Yeah, one
about
fact.
the moon landing that didn't happen. Well, you
All right.
prove it.
The pictures.
Yeah.
The pictures that were taken on the moon
Uh-huh.
were pictures taken
Oh.
from a chest camera.
Yeah,
all right?
right.
There was no way to. You're not like looking through the lens and going to focus on something.
Right.
All right. This is a camera fastened to your chest.
Uh-huh.
And all these pictures that we have.
I got this one, Jeff.
From the moon landing.
Yeah. Right.
Are in perfect focus.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect center frame.
Right.
All right. How is that ever going to happen with a camera fastened to your chest?
Okay, I'll tell you how. Do you know the astronauts were given those cameras to carry around with them for months before the launch? They have hundreds, maybe even thousands, of pictures of their families, of their friends, of them walking around NASA, just to practice where they have to point the camera to keep it in frame without using a viewfinder. Thousands of pictures before they even went to the moon. They worked with these cameras to make sure they knew exactly where it was being pointed, and it became like their own hands and eyes just carrying this thing around on the moon.
And did it ever occur to you that there are also 50 or 100 pictures on the moon that came out like shit that they don't show?
Right, exactly.
When you take school pictures, you don't take one and then hope it worked out. You take 80. Most of them stink, and the one that makes it's the one you show everybody.
Oh, you're right, me too. You're right.
You're awful, my friend.
All right, Doug. Thank you.
There's an answer to every one of these goofball conspiracy things. Not only an answer, but scientific fact that backs up the fact that we actually went to the moon. Do you know you know how deep a conspiracy would have to go to get that many missions, that many people involved to go to the moon when they actually didn't go to the moon? That is such a crock of shit.
And now one person's talking.
Yeah.
You would think one person by now would have said something.
No one's talking. And I saw a show on Discovery about it, and they had a couple of lunatics that were saying that it was faked. And they interview them outside of their trailers in the middle of the desert with chickens running around, and they're just insane, trying to talk about pressure chambers and how their spacesuits couldn't possibly work. And
all right, let's say hi to Rick in Texas. Rick.
Hey, I was calling about Jimmy's car. Jimmy, I love you to death, brother, but you know, when I found out you were the tranny, that really bothered me. I thought, maybe Jimmy's gay. And then when I found out you're driving a Saturn, Jimmy, you're gay.
all right.
That was a long way to go for that, sir.
Yeah, you could have just called up and said, Jimmy, you're gay.
Or it says on the screen, Saturn is a woman's car. That would have been a lot of fun to talk about for a while. Jim, what's up?
Hey, Anthony, I am in awe right now. You're awesome, buddy,
Well, thank you, my friend.
with your knowledge. But anyway.
I was actually passing him notes.
Yes, Jimmy was passing me notes.
Anyway, you ever heard of Master Blasters on, like, Spike or FX, whatever it is?
Watched the show last night. They rocketed up a little shack that was supposed to be Dorothy's house with a little mannequin in it that was supposed to be Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. And it's two teams of rocket guys. They build rockets, these huge rockets, and launch them out in the desert. And their mission was to take a shed, like a children's playhouse type shed that you'd see in the backyard, with a mannequin like Dorothy in it, and attach rockets to this thing. The goal was to have it spin 3 times, get up, the one that got the highest altitude, deployed a parachute, and deployed a Wicked Witch, and had the thing land safely, would win the competition. And the whole thing is just the build-up to watching them launch cool shit into the air with rockets. It's pretty much the show, but yeah, very cool. I watched that last night.
No, there you go.
Both of them crashed.
We got a shuttle.
Oh, you want those guys to build the shuttle?
Yeah.
I want the American Chopper dudes. I think they can figure it out.
Big Spider-Man logo on it or something.
Yeah, the father and son team, they would take care of that shuttle.
Guys, I'm just
yelling at each other, but it makes it.
They'd be yelling and screaming, but they would make sure no pieces are falling off the
right.
thing.
Guys, I'm just so happy to have my XM back. I've been without it for 12 days, and I had to deal with the regular radio. So,
Yikes.
buddy, I am just so glad
Awesome.
I've got my radio back.
All right,
I
cool,
was going
Jim.
nuts.
Thank you, Jim.
I hate my car.
Speaking of XM, we're gonna.
Your car stinks.
We're gonna
hate it.
We're gonna have Eric Logan on the air because a lot of big announcements happened this week.
Some
with
of you
XM.
may know him as ELO.
ELO.
Can we get him over, or is he busy?
We could. Hopefully, he could call now. I think he listens to the program every morning.
He was very busy. I guess he's getting some of the perks. Is it from the?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
He's not allowed to talk about that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone thought he was really busy yesterday, and it turns out he wasn't busy.
He wasn't that busy?
At all, right.
Turns out he wasn't busy. Yeah? I think he's getting some perks from some of the shows that are signing on to XM, some of the programming.
Should we blow up his spot?
All of a sudden he was at, the All-Star game?
Well, he was at the
Because
All-Star
we
game
got Major
in
League
Detroit.
Baseball here on XM, so he goes to the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And then we sign up golf, right?
Yeah, I don't know what you're getting at.
We sign up golf.
I don't know where you're getting at.
And all of a sudden, what's ELO doing?
He may have been playing a little round of golf when he was supposed to be working.
Everyone plays golf, though, right? Everyone plays golf. He was probably playing with, a couple of business people?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like, for a couple of the XM people, maybe?
Yeah, I'm sure. Why don't you ask him?
I'm gonna.
Pretty funny, though, no? Speaking of XM, this thing is growing. It's just amazing. XM was at about, give or take, 2 million subs when we signed on, right?
Yep.
And now they're up to 4.5, give or take a few tens of thousands.
About 4.5 mil.
Give it 4.5 right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to make 5.5 by the end of the year. This thing is growing by leaps and bounds. And stupid commercial radio is still denying that.
Every time it comes up that the sub numbers are going up and a lot of people are signing on, more car companies are coming on, people are talking about it. There's a buzz about it. You go to radio message boards, and every other post now, it seems. You go to New York radio message board, Alan Sniffin's board.
Not much anymore. I used to.
I check in there on a daily basis, see what's going on in New York radio. A lot of insiders on that board. And you'll see every second or third post has something to do with satellite radio. And these are the insiders. These are people that are into radio. Yet the posts that come off of those posts are people just denying that this is going to have any impact on radio. They just don't see it. They don't want to see it. But it's finding its way into the business.
Because it's proof of their growing irrelevance, and nobody wants to be irrelevant or archaic.
Yep.
Nobody wants to be the guy who's in love with the technology that's going down the toilet slowly,
Yeah.
or that's being looked at like yuck.
It's so hard to be proud of your product if you're in regular radio when it's just the commercials. That's the biggest thing. I could take the shitty jocks and the repetition on the music and stuff like that, because you flip through, you hear a song you like, it's like, all right, this is cool. I cannot deal with these commercial stop sets that last 10 minutes at a clip.
Lasts for days.
Where you get from point A to point B, you're done with your traveling, and you have not heard anything. How can How can they then sit there and go, that's satellite, that's not the flash in the pan, it's a fad. It's like, and then I like when they compare it to, it was like that internet radio. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, go back to internet radio back in 8 years ago when they couldn't even figure out bandwidth and couldn't stream it without it clipping all the time. Even that's gotten better, streaming. I mean, AOL, I guess, had the Live 8. They were broadcasting that. They had hundreds of thousands of people logged on at any one time. Millions of people viewed the entire thing throughout the course of the day and didn't have a problem.
As soon as they figure out how to mount the computer in your car,
there you go.
It's really going to take off. I mean, it's just going to be unbelievable.
But it's people that are making that comparison, like internet radio of the 90s to satellite radio now. It's a whole different animal, but they just don't want to see it.
It's not just the commercials are a huge part of it. I hate the jocks. I hate their faggoty music beds. You can't even talk without the little underlying music. 'Cause this way the rock doesn't stop.
Rock doesn't stop.
Get it.
Keep those stupid people, keep them right here with the music, even while we're talking.
Corny promos. They're just cornballs, all of them.
Yeah, I used to love listening to radio. I gave up on it so long ago until my brother, bought me the XM when we got fired.
Yeah.
And I haven't. I rarely go to commercial radio. I mean,
Can't do it.
It's so rare at this point.
Coming in, I listen to 1010 Wins. I get the local news. That's the only broadcast radio I listen to. When I leave...
But I thought you were listening to Howard on the way in, so you know what to talk about.
So I could get bits?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I do that, too. I listen to 1010 Wins on the way in, and then when I'm leaving, I have to hit the band selector on my radio, and to get from AM to XM, I got to go through the FM bands. Here's what it sounds like. That's it. Both FM bands. Blow right through them. I don't even try to stop and see what they're doing anymore. Go right to XM. It just ain't worth it. Commercials.
All right. Why don't we take a break? When we get back, I guess we'll talk to Elo. We'll get an Elo update.
See if he could talk about his outing.
Right.
He was outed?
He was outed.
A lot of people very pissed off that we haven't talked about the watermelon contest yet.
Oh, yeah.
People were amazed on the email. They're like, this story was made for you guys. Why haven't you talked about it? We will next.
We were told not to. The management didn't want us to, and we kind of
and we listened.
Wife wants back pay for housework. That's an amazing story. A grandma suing Grand Theft Auto. That's a stupid
Poor
story
Rockstar, man. They are just getting screwed.
We also have more audio from Ozfest with little Jimmy Norton.
Aww.
A lot of requests coming in, and they want the Bill Burr PSA thing.
Get the dress.
They want us to replay the Bill Burr PSA thing, so as soon as we get that, we'll play it for you, okay?
Jimmy 4 times.
And,
I almost forgot to say, I can't find it yet. I'll have to do it later.
What?
I just wanted to wish somebody death, but I can't do it yet.
Ooh, after the break?
Yes.
Nice.
Like sand through the hourglass, so is the Olenay virus.
I'm exhausted. I have to get this off my chest quickly. The news has gotten me scared shitless. Seems a Massapequa couple out on Long Island and their son were woken early Monday morning by 2 armed robbers who locked them in the bathroom and ran away with their cash and jewelry. Nassau police said. Nassau County, Long Island. So they're telling, they said that late at night they enter the homes through an open window or an unlocked door, something like that. I don't think they've been breaking anything. And tying people up, locking them in a room, and robbing them. So now I can't sleep. I'm serious. I cannot sleep now. I was up every hour last night.
Here's what you do, dude.
What do I
you got the advanced alarm system, which will wake you. And you guys sleep in one area of the house. And I know a guy in porn who does this. This might sound crazy. Get yourself a gun.
Yeah.
Get a gun. Keep it in your room. Mm-hmm. And if anybody breaks in, you pull your pistol out, man. Because the alarm will alert you that they're there. There's no way they're going to get anywhere near your room
before I can pull out the heat.
Before you can pull out your pistol, man.
Lay down some lead.
Absolutely. You pull out a pistol, get night vision goggles. As crazy as that sounds,
yeah, that's
why not?
The lamp Shut the lights out. Put on the night vision. I'd rather swing like a Mossberg, just in case there's a couple of them.
No,
I don't want to have to be good with a.
I say you get a
single shot.
Get a shotgun.
That's what I mean. Get a nice Mossberg riot gun.
Yeah. I say you get a panic room.
I'm loving the idea of a panic room where just metal slides down in front of the doors and windows of my bedroom, and I'm just in there going, I don't care what you take. It's all insured. Go ahead. You want to get me? Okay, look. I'll open the door for like a second, then I'll shut it again. Here we go. And no, I'm not going to open the door, idiot. I'm in here. You can't get me.
Where's the DVD? Where's the DVD player?
N-word, N-word, N-word.
Oh, no, you didn't.
N-word, N-word.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Just, please don't steal the mezuzahs from the door.
What's the mezuzah?
So how
Get a gun.
Yeah, how are you going to solve this problem?
I am going to get a Mossberg pump shotgun.
There you go.
And keep it. Because you know what I have right now? The only weapon I have besides my bed right now? No. I have a rapier. I have a sword.
It's not even real. It's probably one of your online ones, you mo.
No, it's a very...
Hold on, you. Put on your wizard hat with the stars on it.
I'm going to cast a spell. Look, I've rooted him. He cannot move.
I'm a level 70, and he's still kicking me in the balls and duct taping me. This isn't right.
What level are you? I didn't see your character available when I signed on.
Level 357. Oh, I see.
Avast!
Have it, get a
Leave
shotgun.
these premises, lest I run ye through. What a faggot.
Wait till you taste my steel, home invader.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in a sword fight. I'm Errol fucking Flynn.
He'll tie you to the radiator with the fucking thing that closes your robe, your wizard robe.
Oh, Christ.
Opie and Anthony, the virus is spreading.
If someone get in the best of you. If someone get in the best of you. And someone taking your face, it's real. The pain you feel, you trust, you must confess. If someone get in the best of you. You're checking out the Opie and Anthony program.
What
the
is
O&A virus spreading across America.
What has Eric brought up on the monitor there now? He always does this through the show. Everyone thinks he's doing such important things over at that monitor right next to Opie. Is always nude and semi-clad women on there.
Nothing wrong with that.
Who is she?
That's Charlotte Church, right?
Is it?
So someone was telling me that
there's
like boob shots of her all over the internet now, and that she's trying to be like this Britney Spears thing over in England. Is that true? Like she's trying to change her whole image? She's going pop?
Ooh, this is the guy that croaked on the boat I was on.
What are you talking about?
On the cruise. It's on the news. Now it's looking like it might be murder. There was a guy on the Brilliance of the Seas, Royal Caribbean.
Yeah.
And he was drunk with his wife. They went to the casino in the boat.
Didn't they just get married, too?
They were all hammered, newlyweds, just
right.
got married. And then later on in the evening, they went back to their room. Some of the other passengers heard a woman scream and some fighting. And then this guy ends up overboard, disappeared, missing. The wife wakes up in the morning, goes, "Oh, my brand-new husband's missing." There's a huge blood stain on the lifeboat awnings that are just under the balconies, and a little smear that goes into the water, and some blood in the room. So now they're kind of looking at this, and they never found the guy. He just got lost over there in the Mediterranean
You think
somewhere.
she was able to just carry him and throw him overboard?
Whether it was her, someone else might have been involved. Who knows? There's no one's really getting to the bottom of this.
A murder mystery.
Murder.
It's a recipe for
murder. Cruise to murder.
Remember that morning?
Murder. Tic-tac murder. Hey, old Martin Quinn, was that it?
Yeah.
Quinn Martin, yeah. Quinn Martin production.
All right, we were talking about the mother of the astronaut.
Yes.
Fox 5 just interviewed her. We got a few clips, Anthony.
Shuttle to murder.
She's very, very angry with NASA.
Very.
Her son, a Queens native, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And, now she's wondering if her son's going to come back in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the exclusive interview with Fox 5.
Well, I didn't hear that they had grounded it until somebody called me and told me. All I had heard is that the piece was a small piece. Then somebody called me and told me it was as big as a pillow.
I didn't know that Lynn Samuels had a son that was an astronaut.
That's wonderful. My son, the astronaut.
You could just see her bragging outside her little house. Those houses that are 2 feet wide, all next to each other.
Right.
Did you hear about my son, the astronaut? He's in space now, the astronaut. Would your son a doctor, a lawyer? I have an astronaut. I'm very upset here.
Just smoking as she's talking.
Very dangerous. It's the size of a pillow.
I got to hear that again. The mother of one of the astronauts.
Well, I didn't hear that they had grounded it until somebody called me and told me. All I had heard is that the piece was a small piece. Then somebody called me and told me it was as big as a pillow.
It was as big as a pillow. So I'm suing for punitive damages here.
Yes.
I was watching the shuttle launch. I was very angered. They said they were pieces, but it was the size of a pillow and my shoes. I saw the well, I couldn't see them because my glasses, I can't see, goddammit. My son's an astronaut, and it's tearing the ass out of me.
Oh, man. She didn't know.
So she's going to sue everybody.
What a typical mom.
Oh, it's classic.
Just like, you try to tell your mom about what you do in life, like this radio show. And she still thinks I'm just playing with my friends, that it's not a career, that I should, maybe get something to fall back on. Same thing with this guy, probably. You want to go into space? You want to be on a rocket ship? Why don't you learn a trade? Be a plumber like your uncle. At least learn a trade. If the astronaut thing doesn't work out, you could always earn a good wage.
My mom had that conversation with me.
Isn't that great?
So I got a minor in computers.
Oh.
And you know me, I'm the worst at computers.
Is that what you did?
Yes, a computer minor.
The speech worked? Mine didn't. My mother's speech didn't work.
Thank God.
A minor in computers?
Oh, it's awful.
Back then?
That's when they were teaching computer languages.
That must have been great.
Like Fortran and
Pascal?
Cobalt. And
Basic.
Turbo Pascal.
Pascal.
Basic. What?
I will now learn the if-then commands.
Right. If 2 equals 4,
then go to 150 syntax error, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Thank you to the guy that took that out of play.
Oh, God.
No one has to worry about that crap.
You just have to program shit yourself. I was so in on the early part of computing, and I loved gaming, but you actually had to program your own fucking games. I got a book with program language in it, and used to have to program in BASIC for a game. And it would never fail. Syntax error, line 11209, and trying to debug the goddamn thing. Yeah, Tandy, Commodore computers. I had the Atari 800 XL. And just trying to program those things. Ugh. Just so you can play some stupid-ass game.
Oh, yeah. All right, back to the mother, Anthony.
Yes. I'm very upset over here.
Talking about her son who's up there in space, and she's very worried.
Oh.
Well, I'm confident that they could fix it. I don't know whether they'll be able to fix it in space, but they always told us, and this is what they've been saying, that they'll get the astronauts back, that there was a backup flight going up if they had
backup flight.
Stay on the station. So that's what I'm hoping, that'll take place.
This is the mother of one of the astronauts who obviously doesn't tell her shit. Either that or they sit down for coffee and she just,
I don't know about all this space stuff. Tell me, but how would the kids?
Right.
Like, she doesn't care or want to know or know anything.
I hear there's a flight going up. I think it's Delta. They've scheduled flights.
They did have some, like, harebrained scheme of using the Atlantis if something goes wrong, but, I mean, their backup plan is using the Soyuz to bring them down with the Russians.
There's some type of other flight. I believe it stops at Newark Liberty Airport.
Why don't we...
I want my son in first class, goddammit. And he eats a vegetarian meal.
All right, why don't we go to the third clip? Because we got Elo standing by here.
Oh!
The mom of the astronaut.
Elo.
One of the astronauts.
As a mom, though, you have to just kind of sit and watch and wait and hope and pray and have faith that it'll all turn out, right?
Right, and Charles always had faith. He never doubted for a minute that everything would be all right. He, you know, it's the mothers that worry, not them. And like Eileen even always said, we wouldn't be going up if we thought that anything was going to happen.
Oh, my God.
That was a very interesting Babe Ruth clip.
I have loved baseball for many years.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that great?
Make sure you wear clean drawers up there.
Right.
Because, God forbid, something happens and they recover your underwear and it's dirty, I'll look like a bad mother.
Yes, you could just...
Fantastic, then.
You could just hear the other side of that conversation, the astronaut. Yes, Mom.
Oh, okay. Yes, Mom.
Yes, I'll be visiting soon, Mom.
No. What if something goes wrong?
There's a backup flight, Mom. There's somebody's going to fly up and take us home.
Make sure you call me when you get there. Yes,
Call
Mom.
me. Leave, even if I'm not here, leave a message. Me and your father would probably be out. But leave a message on the machine, on the recorder device.
Now I gotta go watch my cereal, so leave me alone.
I'm gonna watch my programs. So you call from your shuttle, and let me know you arrived okay.
Doesn't matter what you do for a living.
This guy's in space.
Right.
He's an astronaut.
And you know he's embarrassed because it goes right back to being in school.
Oh.
Hey, dude, your mom was on TV this morning.
See your mother on TV?
Hey.
Yeah, she's worried.
She's a little worried.
I'm very worried about him.
Did she pack your lunch, dude? You can just see them just killing him up there.
I hope you're eating well.
Let's say hi to Elo.
Elo.
Hey boys, how we doing?
You're at an airport.
Yeah, I think actually that guy was talking to his mother in front of me. The hell, the space at the airport sucks.
Yeah.
Location check, Elo.
Location check, Detroit Wayne Metropolitan Airport, departing for DCA in about 45 minutes.
Detroit, huh?
Very nice.
Yeah.
What were you doing in Detroit?
Motor City, baby. You know, it's a big part of our business. Seeing our great folks at General Motors and spending some time with Rick Lee and Chet Huber and doing things up here. So it was great.
You worked really hard in Detroit, right?
Absolutely. I grinded it out, as we like to say.
You didn't have time to do anything else, huh?
No, I had a great dinner, and it's a beautiful thing.
All right. No free time whatsoever.
None. All work.
None.
It was
all work.
It was a grueling day of meetings. It was very, very, very demanding day of meetings, actually.
You couldn't find 5 hours to do something else, huh?
No, I couldn't. Cell phones were not working, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds very productive.
It was a very productive day. We got a lot accomplished, actually.
All right.
Just read the script they put in front of me is all I say. It's in a handbook where, you know, when you become a corporate suit, they give it to you.
We feel bad for you. You work so hard and you never get time to do, I don't know, you never get time to play golf or anything.
No, I can't get outside. It's really tough. I'm in meetings all day and don't even get to see my family. It's just a very, very, very tough thing.
Nothing, no recreation at all. That's, you're going to burn yourself out, you young executives.
I know. I hear that from my wife all the time.
Take a little time for yourself, maybe a little time for yourself, and professional golfers. I don't know, just some time away.
Yeah.
Need to stop and smell the roses. I've heard. I just
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know what that means.
It's too bad because I hear there's a lot of great golf courses up in Detroit too.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear that there's more golf courses in Detroit per capita than any place else in the United States, actually.
Does capita mean criminal?
Yeah. Well, the stays sunlight up here until like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night during the summer. So people like flock out of the office at 4 o'clock, and the roads become jam packed. So I hear, of course. So I don't know.
So you hear.
Right. I don't know.
GM's a good company, right?
It's a great company, actually. Yeah. Terrific.
Yeah, because Jimmy hates his Saturn.
That's not GM.
I know it's not GM.
Yeah. It's
Look at it. You were all proud like you got me. I know that Saturn's not part of GM.
Isn't Saturn part of General Motors?
Oh,
Yeah.
it is?
Yeah.
Oh, now I look like a dick.
It is.
I had no idea, actually.
Yeah.
Wow, Jimmy hates his Saturn.
We have to get that fixed, Jimmy.
That's all right. I don't want to badmouth the company. You know?
I like my job. What a dick I am. Wow. Anyway, Elo, a lot of big announcements with XM lately. Want to go through some of them?
Yeah, let's see. We started with we had a Samsung announcement,
right?
Which probably people didn't know what that was, but that's actually a big deal. I mean, Samsung's such a huge provider in the consumer electronics space, and making really two different devices that will be, in essence, the first ever merged MP3 and XM satellite radio device together, where you will have the ability to put your own favorite songs on there and also put it into a dock and record, up to, X amount of hours, depending upon the hard drive size you get inside the device of XM satellite radio. So if you jump on an airplane, like I am shortly, you can record, any of the channels you want, Squiz, Lucy, Ed, Fred, Ethel, the O&A program, whatever, and listen to it as you would on a MiFi, just with more capabilities as you would on one of the MiFis. But you can also go online and put any of your MP3 or your music collections on there as well. So that was one of the things that we knew was a place we need to get to. And the size of the devices are amazingly small. It's like a small packet that Orbit gum. It's about the size of these devices, and they're a little bit thicker than that. But they're terrific devices that'll be out in the fourth quarter. So that came out, and then I think yesterday everybody saw the Napster release, which is a new product called XM Plus Napster. And obviously now you have the ability to have a web-based client and an online music subscription service where you can go get MP3s that you hear either on XM or discover them on Napster and put them on these new devices that we have. So it's a whole new, much like how we changed the category with the XM to Go category going portable. This is a whole new portability XM radio and now MP3 device.
Not to trump the XM announcement, but I don't know if you heard that Sirius now just came out with something kind of similar. But it's actually large enough where you could actually play a record on it.
They're calling it Sirius Plus Vinyl. It's going to be great.
Sirius Vinyl, right. I actually have a channel for that, so it works well, I guess, right.
We're just
but it's really cool. It's great.
Asses.
I mean, there's the reviews have been terrific. It's the fact that Napster's, everybody knows, the Napster. I don't even know what that thing is, by the way. Is it like an elf or something? What is that face?
The little fellow with the headphones?
Yeah, what is he?
I don't know, but he's cute.
He is cute. He is cute. But no, it's exciting. It is a whole new world for us as we're heading, and more devices are going to be coming out that have the MP3 capabilities of it. And the great thing is you can manage, you'll be able to manage the playlists on there as well. So, if you do hear something you like, you can either keep the one that's on the MP3 that you put on there from XM, or you can go purchase alternate versions or, other versions of it you want from Napster.
I like how they're diversifying like that. I hear another unit is going to be put in the Flowbee, and it's going to have your picture on it.
That's right, yes. With his own custom bowl. It's basically a bowl cut. You just put a bowl on top of it.
Hey, how many gig hard drives is this going to have? You might have said that, but I didn't hear it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't have it in front of me, but I think there's it's the flash memory that's in there, and the press release has it. I don't have it in front of me, but I know you can get somewhere between 20 hours, I think 20 and 30 hours, which you can get on them.
Cool.
Very, very
so
big
it's great,
news.
but it's a huge thing for us in the consumer space. They're going to be priced attractively, so it really goes and competes again with the iPod. And we really think that the great thing is that you have the ability to go out and get what you want for the music, and you can record all the XM satellite radio you want too.
That is very cool.
I was trying to ask, when you make a relative comparison to the iPod, what do you think the difference is going to be with actual uploading to this?
In terms of the ease of it, or?
Yeah, like what do you think is going to be the major difference? They say that this MP3 player is going to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact it's
No! Oh, you are two conspiring asses.
I kept asking. Well, I actually wanted the hard drive question was real, but I asked my questions are too fast. Eric, is it hot out? Yes.
Yes.
You can't get her
click. Oh, you guys stink, man. Poor Elo. He's just sitting there in Detroit.
Say hi to VJ for us, Elo.
Jesus, man.
Right now he's still sitting there talking while Bismarcky stares at him from across the terminal.
And I guess we'll have an announcement about 202 on Monday, finally.
Okay, good.
The worst kept secret in satellite radio. Jesus.
Certainly is.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we're going to add a show, and we'll announce that on Monday.
Mm-hmm. I got I am from someone last night. So there's a rumor going around that the Opie and Anthony show is being canceled.
Oh.
And it's the truth.
Yeah, that's it.
So
it's over, Johnny.
It's over, Johnny.
Take care.
Let's say hi to Brew Dog in Jersey. Brew Dog.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Hey. Pretty good, Brew Dog.
Hey, listen, I got to take issue with the bit you did with the Harry Potter book last week. You actually ruined the book for me, and I don't think you needed to ruin it for all those kids.
How old are you? You got to be kidding, right?
I know that you guys didn't do it. It was one of the listeners, but I just didn't think it was funny.
How old are you?
I am 26.
26.
Can you say that again, please?
I am 26.
You're a big Harry Potter fan, are you?
Yes, I'm a muggle.
Ugh.
This has got to be a bid, right?
No, dude, I'm not joking.
Give us the punchline. Come on.
Please.
No, dude, I'm telling you, it's a lot bigger than you think. There's a lot of adults that read those books.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I'm just talking about the kids. I
exactly.
mean, I love the assault on the media. I think that the people in the media deserve.
Anyway, as we go to break, here's a fine listener just wrecking the Harry Potter book.
Yes.
Outside one of the bookstores as everyone was waiting online to get their copy.
Mm-hmm. Snape kills Dumbledore. Snape kills Dumbledore. Hey, Snape kills Dumbledore.
Smack my bitch up. Stay out the bushes. Stay out the bushes. You're a filthy whore.
Opie and Anthony, XM 202.
All right. We're back with the Opie and Anthony program. Ozfest, yes. You know what? Got rave reviews about Bill Burr at Ozfest with Jimmy Norton. Rave reviews about Jimmy's audio as well, by the way. We want to play the PSA stuff one more time.
Hilarious.
Right.
This stuff is really, really freaking funny. And you want to set this up as I get in the player here?
Bill Burr went to Ozfest with little Jimmy and Steve. And he had a tape recorder. He had a DAT recorder and interviewed some people, some bands. And he noticed that the bands weren't as... They didn't really have the rock attitude, you know? You ask them cool rock questions about the tour bus and chicks and the drugs, and they just kind of were like, well, no, we don't do that. We kind of hang. We're kind of, you know, family guys or mellow or this.
One guy had a kid, and he's singing death metal songs.
Yeah.
It turns out a lot of these guys are now just a bunch of posers in the music industry.
Yeah.
Playing the role they think they're supposed to be playing.
Mm-hmm. So we started asking them to do these PSAs for things that didn't really exist for our show.
Because the interviews were, you know, they were pretty much whatever type of interviews. And Bill decided to turn it around and have some fun with these guys. So he interviews the guy from Dozen Furies, Mark, and asked him to do this PSA for us because we're very concerned about some things going on in the world. Listen to this.
Hi, what's up? It's Bill Burr. I'm standing here with the guys from Dozen Furies. Hey, we're doing a skin cancer awareness thing here on Opie and Anthony. So if you guys could just say something to make, you know, the kids aware about skin cancer, just wing it, anything. Throw a couple of fucks in there so the kids will listen to it, you know?
Dude, we are out in the sun all day long, every day, and we put on sunblock probably like 5 times throughout the day, man. You know, you gotta take care of yourself, gotta take care of your skin.
Start over again, just throw a couple of fucks in there. Seriously. Yeah, they're crazy over there. Man, start over again, all right? Just say for, you know, skin cancer awareness.
All right, man, we're fucking cock fags, and we put on a lot of sunblock. Fuck. Yeah. We're out in the fucking sun all day long, man. It's just fucking beats down on you, and, you know, dude, you gotta fucking take care of it, dude. You gotta wear sunblock, you gotta wear it over and over again, especially you want to keep the tattoos fresh, dude.
You need to tighten it up. Just tighten it up real quick, just real quick.
Wear your fucking sunblock.
All right, guys.
I love that. The next one is Byron from Shadows Fall.
Yo, what's up? It's Bill Burr, Open Anthony Show. I'm talking to Brian Fair from Shadows Fall. Open Anthony's doing like a thing for like domestic violence awareness. Yeah, somebody kicked the shit out of their girlfriend in like Newark or something. So yeah, so just ad-lib some sort of drop and not do domestic violence to your girlfriend or whatever. And you know, it's kind of weird, but toss a couple of F-bombs in there just because our listeners are retarded. So, but just try to keep the good message.
So just say this Brian Shadows Fall and something, or what?
Yeah, just don't beat up your girlfriend and just, you know, fucking don't beat up your girlfriend. Something like that.
What's up? This is Brian from Shadows Fall. Man, you gotta stop punching your girlfriend out there. Save that shit for the bedroom. You know, that's where it's at, but, you know, don't take it to the streets.
Okay, do it again. Just throw like one fuck in there. I swear to God, they're idiots.
What's up? This is Brian from Shadows Fall. Just say, stop hitting your fucking girlfriend, you idiots. All right, save the violence for the bedroom.
All right, cool. All right, man.
People will do anything you ask them with a mic. If you have a mic, they'll do whatever you ask.
Yeah.
Keep it in the bedroom? What was he even talking about?
I have no
idea. It's okay
idea.
to punch your girl in the bedroom? Hell of a PSA.
And finally, Peter from In Flames.
Hey, what's up? It's Bill Burr, Opie and Anthony Show. You know that because you're listening to this shit. I'm with the bass player from In Flames, Peter Iwers. Listen, man, we're also doing, this is kind of a side thing. We're kind of doing this benefit. Somebody beat up a special needs kid in, like, Newark. And so we just want you to just say, you know, just give a shout out to the kids so they know not to beat up somebody with, like, you know, special needs, you know? So just, you know, just say, like, you know, hey guys, you know, it's not cool to beat up with somebody just because they're different or whatever, you know. Just, you know, just like a quick kind of like a soundbite. And it's kind of weird, but throw a couple of, you know, fucks in there just because our fans are kind of retarded, you know what I mean? So you need to, like, just make them like rock and roll, you know? Yeah, sure. So just wing it.
Hey guys, this is Peter from In Flames. You should treat everybody equally and don't beat anybody up or do something bad to them just because they're different. Everybody's the same.
Okay, that's totally the perfect vibe. Just throw in special needs and throw in like 1 or 2 fucks. The F word. Yeah, it's kind of, like I said, they're retarded.
Same thing again, all right?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Peter from In Flames. Treat everybody the same way, even people who have special needs and everything like that. Don't fucking go and do any bullshit and start beating people up because they're different. Treat everybody the same, dude.
That's beautiful. And the kid's name is Russell. Just give him a shout out. Same thing, couple of fucks. He's a big metal fan, so it mean a lot to him. That's the kid who got beat up, Russell, from Newark.
Hey, Russell, how the fuck you doing? Sorry you can't be here today, and just take care of yourself, man. See you soon.
All right, dude, that's beautiful, man. Thank you so much, and good luck tonight.
Russell.
Bravo, Bill.
And he says retarded.
I know.
The fans are retarded. He's a special needs kid. He's being, beat up and stuff. That's not cool. And throw in a fuck because our listeners are retarded.
And he picks the whitest name in the blackest city.
Yeah.
Oh, that's classic. Let's go to Chris on whackbag.com.
Can I say one more thing? One of the fucking hilarious thing he was talking about was the clown.
Oh, yeah.
The clown audio he had, it was really...
The clown in the dunking booth who would just
really
taunt
great.
people and had that
Hey,
laugh.
guys.
The more you heard the laugh, the funnier it got.
Yes, Chris.
What's going on? Hey, I got two quick ones for Jimmy there.
Yes.
Jimmy, first thing, happy birthday. I hope you have a nice birthday today.
Thank you, man. It's been okay so far. I'm really sleepy today, but, it's
It's
looking like
not your birthday.
It is.
Jimmy, second thing. I was just wondering if anyone blew you off yesterday. You had a lot of these great interviews, and I really think you did a great job talking to some legends that you admired all your life. But did anyone blow you off?
No, they were scheduled, actually. The interviews I did were scheduled. They were the Geezer, Bill, Tony, and Zach, and we were trying to get Bruce Dickinson, but we just couldn't get his family there. So, no, they were all very cool.
Oh, that's cool. All right, guys, punching out. Jimmy, again, happy birthday.
So obnoxious.
Animal.
You ever see Carney with Gary Busey when he played one of those guys?
Oh, yeah.
That was a great flick.
A long time ago. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah. Now he's
I bet
a
it doesn't
babbling
hold up.
idiot on Celebrity Fit Club.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Steve just wrote this.
What?
Jada Pinkett, he said, kind of blew us off.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't know if it was her or her publicist.
We knew you wouldn't get Jada Pinkett.
I know.
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I think what was happening...
Jada Pinkett Smith.
It's just a bad... It's probably... I hear she's actually good. I mean, I'd love to say she stinks, but I heard she's actually good. But it's just a weird combination of Ozfest. I heard she's been kind of having a tough time, and they've been giving her shit, the fans. Yeah. So she did a few songs. I guess she's discouraged, and she's probably not doing any press because of that. But the way publicists spin it, I know it's their job, but she's like, well, she's not doing any presses early in the tour. I'm like, I'm not a big star, but I've done enough things where you do press early in the tour. What do you do at the end of the tour to go, thanks for not coming?
Right.
You try to get people into the shows. So you do press at the beginning of the tour.
Yeah.
Jada didn't want to talk.
She's bombing, obviously.
She's not being very well received by the hardcore metal fans.
What does she do? What kind of music?
She's got a rock band with some of the guys in Fishbone.
Do we have a sample?
No, that's the thing. We don't. She doesn't.
We don't even have a sample of her music.
The story is that Sharon Osbourne saw her band at some club or cafe in Los Angeles and brought her on board, but it's horseshit.
Man, I think Sharon Osbourne is losing it a little bit.
Well, you got to pay to be in the festival.
Yeah, bands are required. The second stage acts need to pay $100,000 to be on the festival. So
all right,
that's how the labels pony
Are
up
you
the cash.
kidding me?
No.
Now who gets that money?
Sharon Osbourne's family.
Sharon, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
You think this is a good thing, Jimmy?
Sure. Look, I mean, what it does for bands, it can blow you up. It can make you a huge.
Yeah, a lot of bands have been made on Ozfest.
Yeah. How about throwing them a bone and letting them perform and not have to cough up $100,000 fucking dollars?
That might be the only way to. It's a very costly thing.
Look, I understand how much you love the Osbournes and Sharon and everything, but that is one of the most cocksucker fucking moves I've ever heard of.
But Anthony was in a band.
For a band to have to shell out that kind of cake to get on the bill. You know something? Then fuck it. Don't have local bands or don't have unsigned bands, or have them and pick and choose based on their talent who gets to go on the tour, and just let them tour.
Now you're just
what
gonna
the fuck is this pay to play?
Now you're just going to have bands that are rich enough to pay the price just to play.
And if you can, great. That's
and then
fine
there's bands
for you.
that don't have the backing. Those are the bands that are going to suffer. Maybe those are the bands that are more talented.
That's a cock move for somebody who's rolling in the money also.
Well,
maybe if you needed to supplement your income, maybe that could be an excuse. For a family like the Osbournes that have plenty of fucking money, and this just goes along with everything that I've heard about her. It's all about the cash with her, all about making a buck off of Ozzy, his name, his history, and now bands that want to tour with him.
The logic is, and I understand, I'm not arguing that point, but the point is, when you think of the cost of a video, videos are huge, and to spend $1 million making a video that might never get played versus a tenth of that money to go out
get played. None of these videos are being played these days.
Versus 1/10 that cost to get out on a national tour where you will be seen.
Still reeks of something.
It's $100,000 for a record label, but it's like how many shows do you do? How many? You know what I mean? It's like it averages out. If you average it out to the show, it's not that much per show. for a record label to pay.
How about you just give these young bands a break without making
Yeah,
them pay?
what
It
happened
might
to
be
the
about
fucking
the label.
break?
It might not be about the bands. It might be about the record. Maybe the record labels were scumbags. Maybe the record labels were twats. I don't know. But I mean, it's
I
like
don't know.
why else would the label agree to do it if it wasn't a huge advantage for the label? Why would they do it?
All right, I'll look into this.
Yeah.
I don't know all the facts, but on the outside right here, it kind of looks a little fishy. I don't think that's right at all. Jesus.
Yeah, because it's not like they're taking these independent bands and just raping them for everything they got. These are probably the labels probably push certain bands, and maybe we're blackmailing them. We'll give you so and so if you put so and so. I know comedy people do that shit.
Yeah.
So maybe it was like, well, fuck this. You're gonna pay to get this band on then because you're blackmailing us to get this one. You know what I mean?
Would you appreciate if young up-and-coming comics could hook up with a tour if they had to pay huge amounts of money?
But it's a totally different business because once you do material, it's kind of blown joke-wise, whereas music is not. Like again, Stairway to Heaven you could do for 30 years. You can't do the same joke for 30 years. It's a different thing.
It's also the overhead to put these shows on. I mean, some of the guys backstage at Ozfest were explaining the economics of it. It is so expensive to cart around 600 people from city to city to set up and break down these bands.
But here's the deal. It's supposed to be paid for in the people that come to see the fucking show. It's supposed to be put together that it's an entertaining show full of people that other people want to see. They go touring. The public pays to see them.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a successful tour. It's been done that way for years.
Maybe the second stage bands are basically paying their own expenses in a way because you don't look, not to knock those bands. There's some great music there, but the main stage is what draws everybody. It's Maiden, it's Sabbath, it's Shadows Fall, it's Mudvayne. Those are the ones.
How long is the tour?
I don't know. It's long.
10 weeks.
Yeah, it's
10 weeks.
long.
I could eat for a lot less than 100 G's for 10 weeks, for paying my way.
I'm saying with the trucks. Maybe that's the only. Maybe that justifies the second stage. I don't know. I'm just like maybe. All right, they pay for it. We'll give you the showcase.
It just seems selfish and greedy.
Yeah, probably.
That's
to a certain
what I'm
degree.
saying.
I mean, it is a business, but I mean.
I don't know. I'll look into it.
Yeah, I don't know enough.
I'm going to research.
All right. Jada's band has clips on website, by the way.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah?
That must be new.
It's not new. It's been there for 3 years.
According to John in Connecticut. John?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Jada Pinkett Smith. Wicked Dreams is the name of the band,
No,
and
it's
if you
not.
go to her website, they have
Wicked
all
Wisdom.
the sound clips from her CD.
Oh, Wicked Wisdom. I think Eric might be on it,
Oh,
actually.
yeah, Wicked Wisdom, yeah.
Because that's up on his screen right now, and he left the studio, so he's probably trying
And
to find a
she's
clip
awful.
for us.
Really?
I haven't seen any
What
of it.
type of music is it?
It's like a hip-hop,
Is it
metal, kind of a fusion. That's what I heard. I haven't seen it.
But she doesn't have a deal.
Does she do Parents Just Don't Understand?
The metal version?
Yeah.
Jeremiah, what's up?
Can I interrupt you?
On, eh?
Hold on,
Jeremiah.
2 seconds.
One thing about Will Smith, because I used to like, Girls of the World, whatever. It was years ago. It was a great
When you
rap.
were into your hip-hop phase?
Man. And
I like Summertime.
Summertime is great.
Summertime.
Where the weather is the la 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 la.
Summertime.
Oh, wait, I'm thinking of a different Summertime.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the one by Asher D and Daddy Freddie. Like a Jamaican, really great, like Jamaican rap.
It's like
Yeah.
They were great.
Summertime.
Will Smith did a song called, what was the one about dating? Girls of the World.
Uh-huh.
But there's one line where he goes, I hit her with a trash can and ran like hell. But they changed it in the newer version to, so I handed her my wallet and ran like hell.
Are you kidding me?
No, and it was actually lyrically, it was a pretty funny one. Rap is like mid-'80s, early 80s.
Yeah.
And I used to love that. I hit her with a trash can. What just a great line that is.
Well,
to
he's
smash a
known.
chick.
He's known for being very outspoken on rap lyrics. He doesn't like any of the violence against women in the rap lyrics.
It's so that's probably why they took it out.
Absolutely.
$20 million a film.
Oh,
Why?
stop.
Am I going to go back and change my act?
Stop.
Go back and change Yellow Discipline?
You're gonna have to.
Let's say hi to Jeremiah. Jeremiah, what's up?
Morning, O&A.
Morning.
Happy birthday,
Hold on
Trippy
one
Dick.
second. What's that, Kev?
What?
They changed that lyric for the video.
It was too violent for the video?
Mhm.
Okay. It's fucking, how irritating is that? It's not even that bad a lyric. You hit a chick with a garbage
No,
can.
it's kind of funny. It's like cartoonish.
Jeremiah, what's up? Finally.
Finally?
Yes, sir.
It's up to you. Let's go.
It's all you.
All right, man. I just want to say that's bullshit. What happened to the music? Just let the bands get up there and play.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think everybody agrees with it.
You should pick the most talented bands that need exposure and give them a break.
What happened to
That's
the
it,
break?
Man. It's all about the music.
Just give them a break. If they have the talent to be part of the second stage, then throw them a bone.
Here's the crying poverty issue. Bill from Jersey Shore. Aunt went to Ozfest last night, paid $70 for 2 T-shirts. There you go. Yeah, I'm sure they're really hurting.
You know who
and
you
need
thank
to
for that, by
sap
the way?
these bands.
You don't thank the musicians for that. Thank the unions. What happens is when you go into a deal, you do merch in this place, union gets, and if you want to do the Beacon, fucking 40%.
40%
goes to
to a union.
Yeah, that's where your money. So these union charges, believe me,
What
Sharon
justifies
and them,
that, by the way?
It's fucking
what
rape.
are they? What is the
It's
union
rape.
guy? What are the union guys doing to help you
Nothing.
merchandise? So why are they getting paid off?
Dude, it's
Isn't
sickening.
that a cut like the mob would
Of
take?
course it is. Of course it is. And that, but I'm not saying Sharon's not getting. Believe me, she's making money. Oz is making money. A lot of it. But a lot of these charges, a lot of these disgusting shirt charges, that's the unions.
How were they able to get that going? How did the first guy go, yeah, look, you know when you sell your stuff, we want 40% of the money you get off of that. How did they not just get laughed out of the building? Was it the crowbars they were holding, waiting outside?
Because the rest of the world is scared, you know, and the politicians ain't going to help you.
Well, when
they're
it's the
too
only
busy
option,
with fake issues out there.
Yeah,
violent video games. Woo!
Well, when it's the only option, and one company owns, a substantial percent of all the venues, you don't really have a choice. You don't really have a choice but to cough up that if you want to sell.
Well, you have to do the way it works usually. And again, being a comedian
It's
selling free
extortion.
CDs is not the same as these bands. The way they do it is they make their guys sell your stuff. Union guy only sell the shit. And you have to get them to change your bills. We were running out of change at the Beacon, and the Beacon was notoriously one of the worst in the country. Me and Florentine are out there running out of change. We couldn't even use our own change. We had to get them to go get us change. It's a fucking disgrace.
With a cash
All
business
of
like
these
that,
places do it.
with cash like that, how do they know?
Well, they monitor. They have their own person there, and they do the
I
paperwork
watched
accurately.
I watched this thing go down. They pretty much have a clicker.
Yeah.
They're watching every purchase.
And you get a
and
receipt.
clicking away.
I mean, it's not like it's not like it's going in their pocket. I mean, whatever.
It
it's
is.
It is, but it's all documented now. It's
Yeah.
not like I'm sure 1971. They have
Yeah.
to document this shit because everything's being picked up. But if you get a receipt for all this, it's just that's why the shirts are so much.
Everyone's got their hands in your fucking pocket.
But it's 40. I don't know what it is at PNC. Maybe it's 30%.
40%.
30 fucking percent on top of a cost of making and shipping and all that stuff. It's disgusting.
Yeah, how about asking them for 40% of what it costs to make the shirts and buy the materials? And unbelievable.
So the bands have to use union. I mean, I'm not knocking unions. Believe me, my father's a union guy. I'm not shitting all over the unions. But there are times where, to me, they overextend what they were intended to do, which is protect and guarantee that you're taken care of. They go into a place where you can do whatever you want and have impunity.
Yeah, when there was a factory and a guy would say, I'd like a little more money, and the guy would say, fuck you,
Right.
I'm hiring another guy for 10 cents less than you're making, then I can understand the union. But they've gotten so out of control and swung the other way where now it's costing this country jobs.
Right.
Why do you think American cars don't sell so well? Why do you think foreign cars sell better and they're cheaper? Because the workers aren't demanding these huge amounts of money, huge benefits, and breaking the backs of the companies. That's what's happening.
That's what's going on with GM right now, yeah.
Of course.
Health benefits.
How are they going to cut costs? They can't cut employee costs.
Right.
It's in their contracts that they can't do anything. So what do? They raise the prices of the vehicles. They don't sell as much. That's what happens.
So these bands got to use. I'm guessing it's Teamsters. I'm sure it is, but they're expensive. And again, if you're gonna have shit hauled, you probably want somebody who knows what they're doing.
Hmm.
But it's not cheap. So there are a tremendous amount of costs. But again, I'm sure they're all making money.
Me and Opie were in a union. We were in AFTRA for the 3 years or 4 years
still
we were
am.
over at NEW. Ain't it great? We got fired and didn't get a phone call.
Yeah, one of the biggest radio stories ever, and our union didn't even make a phone call to see what was going on.
I'd send them thousands of dollars every couple of months for my dues, and I got in return a little paper card that I put in my wallet. That's it. That did nothing for
There
me.
really is no representation as far as that's concerned. They're good with health benefits, coming going to the doctor, and it's getting paid for. But
There you go.
Any insurance does
Yeah,
that.
believe me, I could buy my own insurance for a lot less than the dues I'm paying fucking AFTRA. They could go screw.
They could go screw.
Go screw.
Jay in New York.
Wow.
Jay!
I turn into my grandfather.
And Jay, you better scram when we're finished.
That's right. Go ahead, Jay.
Hey, Anthony, come on, man. You think about the days when you were breaking your back installing air conditioning. Though.
Yep.
Unions aren't for like assholes like you guys, radio guys. It's for people who do manual hard labor.
I've done manual labor, dude. I drove a forklift. I did a boom. I'm not saying unions are not necessary.
I'm a big supporter of unions, but I have a problem with this radio union. It is the biggest joke.
And unions overextend. They get out of control. They hold the employer hostage a lot of times.
How much were you making? How much were you making as an air conditioning guy?
I was making shit. I think I was making $12.50 an hour, something like that.
Was that enough to live on?
Yeah, for me it was. I didn't live beyond my means, sir.
And
Well,
dude,
could you have a family with that?
no
amount of
one
money?
is saying that they shouldn't get raises and shouldn't be paid. No one is saying that. What we're talking about is not that aspect. I'm talking about the aspect of when you sell merchandise and a union gets 40% for doing nothing. That's the problem. Not health benefits, not raises, not things that the workers deserve.
And I understand what this guy's saying, but do you think every guy that's working should be paid huge amounts of money for what they do?
No, I think big business takes advantage of hardworking people. And
I worked for a company that was fucking... Remember in the late 80s when it was really rough for builders? And I was knocking tin at the time, and my company was going down the shitter. They were taking shit work. And what? These unions were hitting them up for giving their guys raises. How about when the company's doing good, they give raises. When they're not, you got to suck it up and work through it.
That's to their discretion. They don't give raises. They take profits. Think about this tour.
I'm not saying that the people
who would
that
you
are
rather-
employing these people aren't guilty also, because they're scumbags that would rather pad the management's pockets than the workers. I understand that, but there's got to be a balance here.
Think about this tour. Who would you rather get the money? The producers, people like filthy rich people like Ozzy and their partners, or would you rather the people that are carrying the equipment?
It depends, dude. And it might sound like a dick move, but you know what? People who carry the equipment they have to be paid accordingly and make good money. But who would I rather see get rich? Ozzy. Why? Because that's who I'm going to see. And I know that
Come on,
sounds
Norton.
dude.
Come on, Norton.
It's the truth. I'm not knocking the people that carry the equipment. They should be well paid.
They work and they get paid. That's
Ozzy's
what happens.
being paid because he's got 17,000 people in a building to look at him.
It's not Ozzy that comes to pay to see your shows. You don't exactly have highbrow humor, Norton.
I know that. So that's why you should
Hardworking
understand where I'm
people.
coming from. I'm not coming from a highbrow humor piece. I'm not knocking the people that come. My shows are always cheap, $20. I don't charge a lot.
Exactly. You got to cater to people so average everyday people can do stuff.
Explain to me, I agree with you. But one of the reasons average everyday people can't do things like in these venues is because there's so many added on union charges that shouldn't be. Not the justifiable charges, the bullshit charges. You explain.
You guys remember?
Dude, hold on. Explain to me why the Beacon wants 40% of merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the exact numbers are.
I'm giving it to you.
You don't even know what 40% comes out to. It may just be enough for these guys to get by.
40% of all merchandise.
You have no idea. You have no idea what kind of work they put into it.
Why do they have to sell? Why can't they allow the artist to sell? Well, dude, why can't they allow the artist to sell?
Both sides agreed, so that means it's got to be a fair number.
No, not both sides agree. Here it is. You either do that or
Right.
you don't sell in this venue. End of story.
You don't think unions use muscle in negotiations?
Or
Not anymore. Unions
Not anymore. Stop it.
You haven't justified anything.
Now who's being naive, Kate?
Come on, unions don't have any muscle
I
anymore.
just said to you, how can they take 40%? And you said that might be what they need to get by. You
Well,
can't
I'm
even
saying
admit
both sides agree to that. I don't know what 40% comes out.
Okay,
to.
let's do a little
I don't know
math.
the-
You sell $10,000 worth of merchandise. The union gets $4,000. Why is that?
Maybe the union's doing $4,000 worth of work.
Do you
Norton.
really believe that,
What do
dude?
You know.
Why?
Norton,
Because
come on, we don't know the numbers.
I'll
Let me tell you.
No,
tell you
I'm
this.
not going to let you tell me something because I sold merchandise. I didn't sell $10,000 worth, but me and Jim will sell our stuff after. You sign the CDs, you meet the people on the way out. Why is it that they would not allow me and Florentine just to stand there at the exit and sell our own stuff? We were actually going to save them labor. We didn't need any help. Why do they make us have a union person there?
Norton, you're an angry guy.
Dude, I'm asking you a question and you're not answering it.
I don't know what to tell you. There's no answer to your question. You're just a lunatic.
I'm a little.
Why are they zooming in on the sign? Fucking whoever did that assault on the media gets a raise.
Very nice.
Jesus.
Was that Clayton?
Clayton, one of our guys. I'm sorry we're in a heated discussion here, and I just look up at the TV and there's Diane Sawyer on Good Morning America doing some stupid double bubble gum blowing contest, and one of our boys has the huge Opie and Anthony sign with our caricatures. That was really funny.
They slowly zoomed right in on it.
That
Very
was
funny.
classic. All right, back to the discussion. I'm sorry.
So, dude, you're saying I'm angry and I'm a lunatic, but I'm matching you point for point. I'm telling you from a personal experience what happened.
Can I respond to that?
Yes.
I can't. There's no possible way that I can take this situation and somehow relate it to your situation because I don't know the facts of either one.
I'm just giving you the facts,
That's
dude.
the fact.
Dude, the
Just
facts are
saying,
this.
like, with this thing, with the 40%.
Yes.
These tours wouldn't happen. If you think Ozzy's lifting anything, you think he's doing anything? No, he shows up in the last minute with his fucking limo.
Right.
He gets out, he waves at people, he sings a song or two, and then he fucking leaves.
So you think tours would never happen if it wasn't for union labor?
Yes, that's what. Well,
So when
Never would have happened. They couldn't find anyone else to haul equipment or.
So when we were going,
Stop it.
So when we were going to see Led Zeppelin back in the day for $6 a ticket and getting a T-shirt for maybe $8.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Woodstock '99? I was there, and they were selling water for $5.
You're
By
right.
the end of the show, people burned the fucking place
Not
down.
saying there wasn't a bunch of greed going on, my
Of course,
friend.
dude.
There's
And no
plenty
one's-
of that to go around.
No one's saying that the unions guys don't deserve to be very well paid for what they do. I mean, look, you want guys who know what they're doing, hauling equipment. I've been saying that all along. I'm giving you a specific example of merchandise. I did not need any help there because it's just me selling my shirts and my stuff. And I want to know, you say, well, maybe the union has to get that. Why do they want 40% of that money for me to stand there and sell myself? Why will they not allow me?
I don't understand. I'm not arguing for unions. I'm arguing for laborers. Or I'm not saying.
But I'm not arguing against labor, dude. I'm not arguing against unions. I'm saying that they overextend. As greedy as management can get, the unions at times can be that greedy or that irrational. And I've dealt with it firsthand.
Hey, Opie, before I punch out, can I make a little request?
Yeah.
I'm one of the old day fans, and I'd like to know where are they now? Like, what the fuck ever happened to Spaz, man?
Oh, the Spaz question again.
He didn't want to be called Spaz anymore and left the show.
Where is he?
I don't
we
know.
have no idea.
Whatever happened to that guy?
He called the show when we first started XM, and he's dead to us. We're done with him.
Moved on, sir.
Behind the scenes, I was telling him that his Spaz character was great, and we got it. Well, it wasn't even a character. That's the weird part about it. But he got it in his mind. He wanted to be called by his real name, and I'm like, well, then we don't have any use for you.
That's probably some chick that got to him. That's probably the way
He
the
wanted to
chick
be some
gets to him.
kind of. He just wanted to be like a producer. I'm like, dude, you stink at producing. You had a great on the air character, and he just didn't want to do it anymore. So we're like, all right, we're moving on, and that was the end of that. And it's too bad because he was really good in his role. All right, Jay, thanks.
Well, I don't know what happened. I never met Spaz, actually. I can't.
Really?
Yeah, no. If I did, it was a high buy, maybe with Dice when I first came in, but I have no memory. For me, it was always stinky.
That's weird.
All right.
Stinky rules.
Let's say hi to Rocky. Rocky!
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to call in and say that paying to be on the bill with somebody who's been around a long time, it really kind of sucks, I would think, but it's good advertising, you know.
And I understand, believe me, I'm a performer, dude. The idea to me of a young performer being extorted makes me physically ill. And in comedy, I've seen it, and on bands, I'm sure it's even a bigger thing. My only thing is the labels pay it, not the actual bands. And there must be some huge financial gain for it, or the labels would never do it. And I don't know what caused it to start from the beginning. I don't know how it works.
That's true.
You know, I really don't know.
Yeah, it's
But
gotta
the
be
idea
some
of a
kind of gain.
comedians have to do, again, much smaller, but they're called bringer shows. And Nathaniel would tell you, he does them, or he's had to do them, where
But
you
see-
show up, you bring people,
Oh, yeah.
and you can't get on stage unless you have 4 paid customers there to see you.
But see, record labels, it seems like they just have a certain amount of money to promote all their bands, and then if you're throwing $100,000 for this band, $100,000, it's the guys at the bottom there that are just getting involved with the label are the ones that are suffering, and they may be the next Nirvana or something.
It might be possible.
I mean, to start throwing $100,000 just to be on the Ozfest bill, it just seems ridiculous. It really does.
Maybe they allow the record labels to have a certain amount of
And now the record labels, instead of like maybe working, just throw numbers out there, 10 new bands, now they're like, well, look at it. Our promotional budget is really being stretched here, so we got 10, but we're going to only promote 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I think it starts hurting, you know? Silence is good sometimes.
right.
Didn't that feel good?
Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed that. I actually heard myself scratching my neck. I'm like, yeah, just enjoy this.
All right, why don't we take a break? We got audio from Ozfest. Jimmy talking to Bill Ward and Tony Iommi.
And it's awful. I'm
and
telling
Geezer
you all,
Butler.
it's
Well,
awful.
we'll listen to a sample of that. We got Otto and George coming in today. We got to get into the grandma suing GTA and some other fine stories in the news right after these promos.
Like sands through the hourglass, so is the Oaday virus.
All right, anything else from the Zach Wilde interview we want to play?
Anything else? How about anything at all? It was, I'm telling you, I'm a bad
Anything
interviewer.
with Jimmy on it.
Well, there's so much audio. I don't know if we can get to all this. I'm trying to just get to the...
Talks about going with double duty with. He's very respectful towards Ozzy. He talks about a prank he pulled in Philly where he wore a dress with his whole. He brought his whole group of guys into a mall in
Group
Philly.
of guys?
Yeah, Zach loves homo humor.
Yeah, he does.
He lives for gay humor.
Yeah.
He's a big biker. They love that shit.
By that you mean the crew.
Yes.
That he's rolling with.
Yes. I'm not going to get out of that one.
They were dressed like bizages.
All right, let's play the audio from the prank here, all right?
You did something in a dress. I don't know. It was fucking. It was in Philadelphia. I mean, Kim from YSP, who was in love with you, was telling me that you did something in a dress. I don't know what it was. Did you go on stage in a dress, or did you do something in public with a dress? It was really completely uncalled for.
Something in a dress. Anything in a dress.
Anything with a D in it. Fucking asshole.
Humna, 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 humna.
Just so happy to be communicating. Myself sick.
I love it. Humna, humna. Shove for the future.
Dude, I knew it too. I fucking knew this was gonna happen. It was just
No.
gonna be. It's fine. I mean,
It's
I'm okay with it.
adorable.
It's not
what it
adorable.
is.
It's like a big
irritating.
clock right behind it, like whoever he's interviewing in 10 seconds. He will be kicked off this bus. When did you start? When did you start? You play guitar?
You had a dress, you wore a dress, you bought a dress, something with a dress. It's like on the $25,000 pyramid with Zach Wilde. Something with a dress, you wore a dress, you had a dress. The things guys like a homo do? Pass. Pass on.
I gotta hear the beginning of
Move
this
on.
again. All right, listen again.
You did something in a dress. I don't. It was fucking. It was in Philadelphia. I mean, Kim from YSP, who was in love with you, was telling me that you did something in a dress. I don't know what it was. Did you go on stage in a dress, or did you do something in public with a dress? It was really.
I don't even need the answer. I don't even.
He said dress like 18 times.
It's awful.
Something in a dress.
That's.
Zach, what's your address? I need something with a dress.
Oh, God.
And hit the bell every time he says dress. Ready? And this question. I want to try to hear the rest of it.
You did something in a dress. I don't. It was fucking. It was in Philadelphia. I mean, Kim from YSP, who was in love with you, was telling me that you did something in a dress. I don't know what it was. Did you go on stage in a dress, or did you do something in public with a dress? It was really completely uncalled for and hilarious.
He tried to like reshape that question every time he started to ask it. Like, no, that's not the right approach. Let's try this approach. Fuck that. Abort! Go to this way. Go this way.
Someone else told me about the dress. No, I knew about the dress. It was hysterical with the dress.
Women wear dresses sometimes, and we. Oh, you're a fan of the birdcage.
Oh, is that fantastic?
We're smashing your face. We should have been down there helping out with this whole thing, but
you could hear his little heart pounding.
Oh, he's freaking out.
You kept waiting for them to realize, wait a minute, you're Jimmy Norton. Go away.
leave old Jimmy Norton.
Waiting for my professional mask to fall off. You did something in a dress. I don't. It was fucking. It was in Philadelphia. I mean, Kim from YSP, who was in love with you, was telling me that you did something in a dress. I don't know what it was. Did you go on stage in a dress, or did you do something in public with a dress? It was really completely uncalled for and hilarious.
See, I like when he goes, it's uncalled for. Oh, fuck, that's going to piss him off. And hilarious.
Uncalled for. And hilarious. Don't hit me. Don't kick me out.
Don't kick me out. Yeah, this is my moment. Don't kick me out,
Every
please.
question I ask has to have a disclaimer.
I know.
Believe me, I
love
I'm
it.
a worm.
I absolutely love
It is the cutest interview ever, Jimmy.
Awful.
Don't you worry about it.
Easy.
Opie and Anthony, the virus is spreading.
So be it. Fret no more. Just to kill pieces. You prepare for war. So be it. Settle the score. Touch me again for the wars that you will hear evermore.
I got one thing I'm reading here in today's post, page 36, the entertainment. There's a thing, it's called Comics Take a Crack at Laugh-A-Palooza. Which I kind of thought was funny, as opposed to La. The best of the fest, a sampling of the jokes from the Montreal Comedy Festival, and there's some good lines from Greg Rogel and Greg Proops, whatever. This is what I just want to find out. Peter Hyman wrote this, and I'd love to ask him why he did this. Greg Rogel on Vermin Control, then the joke. Greg Proops on President Smart, then the joke. Jeffrey Ross insulting members of the audience, then the joke. And then here, Latino comic Felipe Esparza, whatever, on Mexico's contribution to the war in Iraq. Mexico wanted to help, but they're going to need a ride over there. Why do they have to mention Latino comic? Because they know a racial joke is coming. And it's the subtle shit like that, this apologetic fucking attitude everybody has.
Yeah.
Well, he's okay because he's Latino. Why did you have to mention that?
Had to because it was a Latino joke.
Is that what? You're afraid you're going to get one letter from one fucking disgruntled person? Holy shit. And he probably didn't even realize he was doing it.
Yeah, because it's just a natural thing to do now.
This intellectual. I should have my face smashed in the pan. He's an intellectual. What'd you go to college? Fucking intellectual cowardice. God, it makes me sick.
Yeah, that's what people have been conditioned to do.
Why?
And I can't even blame the guy because, quite frankly, if he didn't put that, he probably would get a letter. And there'd be a Latino society that would come after him. He might even lose his job.
You know who else is Latino? I'm sorry to interrupt, Jan. Greg Giraldo.
Oh, right.
Is Latino.
But he doesn't look it, so it's okay.
Yeah, and he didn't. Why didn't they mention Greg being Latino? Because he didn't do a Latino joke.
Didn't do a Latino joke.
He actually did a good joke.
And he does cable TV ads now. Cable commercials?
Nothing you want to see than your old friend making fucking millions. Makes me sick. Every time I turn TV on, his face is there. It hurts.
He's got to be making a nice dime for those spots.
I saw it with DeSello, and I think he said he went in to do one or something. They wound up doing 6.
Wow.
Or something. There was some weird way he kind of just stepped into it. So yeah, it's just a nice little cash fund.
Got a very natural delivery. He's very friendly looking and sounding.
He's a good actor.
Not hostile like normal Latino people.
Yes, exactly. He's one of the good ones. And I tell him that all the time. I'm like, Greg, credit to your race.
All right, let's get to some more Ozfest audio with little Jimmy Norton. Bill Ward. One of your heroes.
Jimmy doesn't like this at all.
No, I don't.
It's very uncomfortable to you?
Because I know, it's like, look, it's not particularly entertaining. It's just I ask questions and they answer.
Well, now yesterday's interview clip was extremely entertaining.
That was a rare one. You guys have a knack for finding garbage and taking something nice out of it, but this is just dumb questions.
Turned out to be a promo that we're running now.
And people are finding you very sweet and endearing with this. You don't understand. You're very vulnerable and human.
The word that you're looking for is pathetic and foolish, and those are accurate adjectives.
Let's go to the audio.
All right, well, we're sitting here with Bill Ward, who, in my opinion, most underrated drummer in the history of music. I always wanted to ask you, did you ever, because guys like Bonham and Moon, I mean, they were great, but I always felt that you were as good as they were, up to par, and should have gotten all that mentioned, but just because Zeppelin wasn't as dark as Sabbath that they did it. And how do you feel about that?
I'm okay with the events that have happened. I think that Moon was an exceptional drummer because he was kind of like the one and only, the way that he was. And as far as I'm concerned, John Bonham wrote the book on a lot of the music that a lot of the drum music that we hear today. I thought his tempos were immaculate. They were totally on. If I had to do any comparisons, my tempos are not on at all. They're quite the opposite for me. In fact, we were talking about this the other day in the sense that in
Hold on a
early
second.
Sabbath.
This is fantastic. He's actually agreeing with everybody that Jimmy was bashing for the fact that he wasn't getting the recognition and one of the most underrated drummers in music history. And he's agreeing that he sucked compared to these other guys.
But Bill's just a humble guy.
That is fantastic. You know, underrated drummer. We got Moon and it. No, my tempos aren't on. This guy's a genius. This guy wrote the book. I'm rated exactly where I should be rated.
Bill's just humble. That's all it is.
I love it.
Even he's not as hardcore as you are.
No, he's not as big a fan of himself as Jimmy is.
Right. That's why I love listening to this stuff.
Jimmy's a bigger fan of this guy than he is himself.
I was kind of making eye contact the whole time. It was really Bill's a sweet guy, man. They were all nice, but Bill Ward is one of the nicest guys on earth.
And a legend, and that accent. He's got that rock guy accent.
Yeah.
But he's a gentleman. They're all gentlemen. There's no
Yeah.
shitty rock attitude. Look at that soft-spoken and oh no, he's wonder that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a fucking
Humble.
gentleman, man. Yeah.
They're all exactly. They're all very articulate, very soft-spoken, very nice guys. And Bill was the one guy that offered us all water. It's obvious that we're all drenched, and we all get in. We all get huge bottles of water. And Jimmy, just watching him, he's fixated completely on each guy. But Bill just happened to be the first, and it was the peak of panic for poor Jimmy, because it's obviously something that's been building up for years and years and years. And if you could find 500 different ways to reiterate "you're so awesome," that was basically
you rock.
Yeah, listen to that as we move on.
Well, I've spoken to him before once the week before, so I kind of was more comfortable with him than I was with Tony, who I was definitely a little more nervous around Tony because he was not in a good mood because the bus was late and shit.
Right. Jimmy, it's adorable.
Ugh.
Let's go to Law Jockey.
Hey guys.
Law jockey?
Shouldn't it be lawn jockey?
But okay.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Law Jockey. I just want to know how Jimmy conducted the interview with Bill Ward's cock in his mouth the entire time.
It wasn't easy.
Sound very clear.
I did it while he was answering. And I did it out of respect, sir.
Let's finish the clip.
It's the other day in the sense that with early Sabbath, it's quite rugged and quite kind of murky, and there's incomplete drum rolls and there's things like that.
That's great. Yeah, I sucked. He said incomplete drum rolls and he couldn't keep a tempo.
How do you not love Bill? How do you just not love that? No arrogance.
Should we play the next clip? It says Jim loves live version of War Pigs. Anything there?
more of the same. It's a lot of more of the same stuff. There's a part there where Jim talks about what do you fear most, or is there something like, Jim, you actually said at one point, I know when I suck. Is there at any point, is there any time that you really were aware that when you stunk? Those were decent questions. Those were.
So the War Pigs is whatever?
Yeah, War Pigs is kind of whatever.
Yeah, it's just it was just like a fan question
well,
I had.
I definitely want to hear this because track 3. How do you feel about the fact that everyone wants to be you?
Oh. That's great.
Are you kidding me? Not everyone. Maybe a few people here and there.
Well, yeah, no, a lot of them.
Here's Jimmy talking to one of his heroes. That's the beauty of what you're listening to.
Of course.
It doesn't get any bigger than Black Sabbath as far as Jimmy is concerned.
You know, it's funny. I love to watch. I'll watch some of the old stuff from like the Hammersmith Odeon from the 70s when you had like the long hair and the beard, and just it was always great to watch. You know, Ozzy and Tony and Geezer. But I always liked when they would show you because you were just there, just shirtless, just an animal, and it was just so great to watch you. And I just wish that there had been more footage. I could have watched you playing drums for the entire thing, man. And how does it feel to know that everybody here, every band here wants to be you? I mean, you're royalty.
That's great. Holy shit.
I didn't realize I said shirtless.
Shirtless? You man with all your body hair and beard.
That was a homoerotic
sweating.
That is the gayest question
I didn't
ever.
mean it to be. It's just when you watch the old Ward stuff, he really just was. He looked like Zakk Wylde. He was just a fucking savage.
Guy
man.
was probably sitting here thinking, he would absolutely suck my cock. I could pull it out and he would fucking suck it.
Well, let's go to the answer.
Well, it's very complimentary. I mean, I just got finished talking with the drummer from Shadows Fall, who won 2 great awards this year for his drumming and his recording. You know, the new Shadows Fall album, or the work that they've been doing. I enjoy being around, the percussionists, and I do receive compliments from them in the sense that they've listened to me and so on and so forth. But I see them as very much individual people. I think that if I was able to influence them in some way, then that's an honor for me. I'm just like I try to be as humble as I can about that. But I'm just happy to see them progressing into new fantastic areas of drumming, which I think is like we have so much good drummers, so many good drummers now, and so much good drumming now. I think there's been an incredible development in drumming, say, over the last 40 years.
You should have asked the question and then gotten up and slammed the door and walked out. That old gag.
Never a goofy question for the boys.
No,
ever.
No.
How do you feel after 30 years and still being a success? Anything there? there's just a lot of clips. I don't know.
I
if we
know.
know.
I mean, again, it's very complimentary. Why, it's Jimmy just unloading, 30 some odd years of devotion to these guys all at the same time.
All right.
If anything, we can listen to the questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love the
Did you ever
questions.
think, I mean, I'm sure you've asked this before, but when you guys started, I think, was it 68, that 37 years later, you're still headlining a major sold-out festival, and there's still nobody that can go on before you that can make you guys not look great. You understand? There's nobody you guys can't follow. I mean, are you amazed that it's lasted this long?
Yeah, I am. I'm amazed that I'm still alive, to be honest with you. It's kind of like any day above ground, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I hear ya.
It's,
I was nodding. Yeah.
Well, it's like, how can I describe this and try and pack it into just a couple of minutes? I have a good hindsight of how things were for us before, because that was the experience before. I'm talking about the 1970s. And now, just in the most recent times, in the last 7 years or so, it's almost like doing this, but in doing it in a more of a grown-up way, or in a more experienced way. So a lot of the things which were possibly important, say when I was 19 or 20, which was sex, drugs, and rock and roll, I guess that's where it was at that point. These days, it's more like, I wonder if I can achieve that new drum lick. So, and I mean, back then I was also wondering if I could achieve that new drum lick. But now, I guess, I wonder if I can achieve that new drum lick kind of as precedence over sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
I've never had the sex, drugs, and rock and roll, unfortunately. It seems nice, though.
Well, the sex, drugs, and rock and roll for me just,
nice,
that kind of put
not
me
to
in
offend
a
you.
one-way jacket, that didn't work out at all. But it took me a few years to understand that.
I love it.
So it's a different outlook, Personally, I think that all of us, Tony and Geezer and myself and ours, I think we're playing better now than we've ever played before. There's a much more of a maturity, and we've all just experienced a lot more now.
That's great. According to Jim, the world's most underrated drummer, after 30 years, is finally starting to practice. That's what I got out of that interview. He's finally started to, maybe I'll work on a drum lick.
Put the drugs down and
and pick up some sticks during time I'm not on stage, and maybe work some of this shit out.
Maybe start working on my craft. Let's say hi to Eric in Colorado. Eric!
Hey, boys. Hey, Jimmy.
Yes.
Did you take Bill's load on your chin, your chest, or your back?
I didn't, but I would have anywhere Mr. Ward wished to place it.
And, of course, we're getting quite a few of these. Jim Norton Shittick!
Well, I'm just chatting with Bill about percussionists.
Of course you are.
All right, help me out here, Steve. Yeah. Compliments on the set list. Bill Ward's online blog.
Your penmanship on the set list.
It might just be interesting to hear the question that Jimmy presented, because Jimmy's foaming at the mouth over the set list.
All right.
Can I compliment you on the set list? I saw it.
Don't compliment someone on the set list?
You are just dripping. You are dripping in front of this guy.
I'm a weasel.
Oh, wow. I compliment you on anything. The set list.
Can I compliment you on the set list? I saw it, and they won't be hearing this till tomorrow, but NIB, I almost shit when I heard you open with Symptom of the Universe, and I mean, Sleeping Village. I kind of wish you would have finished Sleeping Village. What a great set list. Dirty Women, Electric Funeral, a lot of stuff I haven't seen live. Was that, you guys say to us, let's just do something different?
Well, yeah, well, it came from the popular vote.
Can I stop myself right there? This is why I should be decapitated. Because I just called Ozzy Oz because Bill called him Oz right before that.
Oh my God! How did that get past me? I was concentrating so much on the earlier part of I missed it. I gotta hear Jimmy call Ozzy Oz.
You know, a lot of stuff I haven't seen live. Was that you guys say to Oz, let's just do something different?
Jimmy, thank you for pointing that out. That could have just gone by.
Your pal Oz.
When I said that, I realized I had just said it, and I just was like, ugh.
So when you jot this down and hand it to the big O.
The Ozster.
Well, yeah, well, it came from the popular vote. In other words, everybody listens to Black Sabbath. Because for a couple of, last year and the year before, or the year before that, we were getting, a lot of email, which wasn't negative email at all. It was very positive, saying, "Hey, play something different, guys," And of course, we don't have anything new right now, at least to play. So we try to make sure that we could at least try some different things, a little bit of some different things, to see if that might go better with our audiences.
Ooh, a little alluding to a new album?
I don't know. I didn't ask them about a new album because they've been asked about it 1,000 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it said something, we don't have anything new to play right now.
Right now, yeah.
Kind
Well,
of sounded like maybe a new album.
There was rumors about that, but again, I just figured that they were sick of being asked that.
Yeah.
If anything, that was the one. That
And
was-
why ask that question when you could further drool over the man and ask him something about his shoes, perhaps?
Yeah, we got to break into the exclusive interview with Bill Ward, conducted by the old Jimmy Norton, because Clayton's back in the studio. We had an assault on the media. Good Morning America with Diane Sawyer was hit bad.
Went very well.
It went well, but we're hearing rumors that one of the kids might have got hit in the head with a sign.
Did you hit that fat kid in the head with the sign?
I did. Well, I was holding the bottom, and it got top heavy from the wind.
Yeah.
And it just came over and just tapped him right in the head.
And he turned around and looked like, what the fuck? Now I got to see the video. We didn't see that.
Yeah, definitely hit him
That
in
was
the head.
really funny. And where Diane Sawyer was standing, they panned over, and they did a slow pan of the kids chewing their gum and blowing their bubbles, and the sign was on camera the entire time. And they were slowly zooming in like that was the focus of the shot. Very good job.
It was a very good assault on the media.
Thank you very much. The guy must have been a fan or something, the cameraman or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just zoomed right in. And
it was right in on it, right up when you conked the kid on the head with the sign.
Poor kid's
great. We're
nervous
hitting
as hell.
children.
He's on national TV trying to blow a stupid bubble.
Oh, Paul Anka, where's he?
And he's getting hit in the head by the Opie and Anthony sign.
yeah, some cop told me to take it down, so that's why I took it down.
But the cops can't tell you to do that. I don't
Yeah,
get that
I know,
one.
that's
She was
ridiculous.
pissed. She
Was
was
it on a
pissed.
stick, or was it you actually holding the
I was
sign?
holding it up as high as I could.
They can't
because
do
it's
anything.
How can
cramping.
they tell you to take it down? For what?
Cops can't tell you to take down a sign that's on live TV.
I don't know.
They just
It
can't.
is ridiculous.
There's no law against doing that.
She was mad, though. Really mad.
Who?
This, like, little black cop. I don't know. Woman
Oh,
cop.
I thought you meant maybe someone with the show. What did the kid say anything to you?
No.
Did he say, what the fuck's your problem? Or
No, he just
I
turned
got
around
the line
and then-
wrong. I stink.
Yeah.
All right, good job, Clayton.
Thank you.
There he goes, Clayton. The latest assault on the media today.
Very good.
Not part of the contest because it's one of our guys. Just
Yeah. We like throwing them out there as little exhibitions of how it's done.
and how easy it is.
And how easy it is. And I like the actual sign
Yeah.
that's used during those things. But then you do it yourself. You wear a cape, you wear the shirt, and you're in the lead.
At this point, we're doing them like 2 or 3 a week on our
Mhm.
own,
Yeah.
easily. All right. Okay, what else can we play from the Bill Ward?
Track 7 is a good one, I think.
Track 7? All right, so we're going to go to... Okay, this is a good one. Listen to this. Come on.
Like, I know when I'm awful, because the crowd's just staring at me. Do you have nights where you're just going, Jesus, I am doing everything wrong tonight? Do you feel that ever as a musician?
Yeah, definitely. But we for me, just talking myself as a percussionist, I get to try and recover from it by the next song. I think that's one of the toughest things is to move on. Forget it. You screwed it up. You screwed it up. But now move on and recover from that. So you just have to do 120% in the next song that comes up. And I think that's that's not always easy because sometimes, if you're tired or you didn't eat or it could be all kinds. The sound might be poor. The sound quality might be poor because of the stage or whatever it might be. It's not always easy to do a fast recovery and get to your 120%. Sometimes you have to just hang tough and just get through the gig.
Very good. So
I don't know what to say, to be honest.
I think the next one where Jimmy says asked him about are there any things that you love that you absolutely loved. I think that was the next question.
Would you do a radio show with me?
Oh no, is that what the next one is?
Oh
yeah, that was
No,
that was a fairly sycophantic episode. Yeah.
Is it good?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And I know you guys I know you do radio as well, and you have very eclectic taste. And last time we spoke about satellite radio, and I asked the head of programming, I don't know how long you guys are on tour for, but I would love to do a shift with you. I know you do your own show, but just a music shift one time on XM on the Boneyard, which is their metal station, and the head of programming said he'd love to do it. So, I mean, when you come off tour, if you want to do it either in New York or D.C., wherever's easiest, I mean, I would love to do it, and you can pick and play whatever you want for the whole shift.
Cool. That sounds very cool. Yeah, I'd be open-minded to, to spin some things or do some things. Definitely. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Oh.
No, I appreciate that.
It's weird holding the mic and moving it. I don't want to move it while you're talking, and then I'm shaking because I'm nervous talking to you. But I am very happy to be talking to you.
Nervous talking to you. I'm happy to talk to you. I'm talking to you. I got the mic and I'm talking to you, and I'm nervous talking to you. Wow, you little Nelly Nervous. Oh, are you adorable.
You want to hang out?
That's pretty much. Would you come over to my house and we'll play records? That's what that amounted to, Jimmy. I know. You got a show, and I've already asked my mom, and she said it's okay.
I forgot about
How
that.
could anyone not adore you after this?
I am awful.
You do know you're a big star in your own right, right?
I'm a zilch.
He's a huge star,
It's amazing.
and he is just the little nervous kid.
Going back to being like 12 years old, 13 years old.
You, me, under the porch.
Would you like to play Monster Rain with me? Of all the songs, records in your catalog, is there anything you would fix?
Yeah, I was just curious. It was just
That's
a
interesting.
fan question. Do you ever look back, and again, I know I do, where you look back on something that you feel great about, and then you look back on it and you go, oh, what the fuck was I thinking? That was
Like
good.
this
You wanna just
interview?
Go back and do it, but you can't 'cause it's already out.
Yeah, I'm still doing that. I'm still doing that with Sabbath stuff. There's one song, Who Are You?
Phenomenal song.
Of course it is. Of course it's phenomenal. How could it not be?
Of course. Didn't the Who do that song?
They certainly did not.
Who?
The part I hate is that I talk way too, like I'm just too eager, and I put the
That's why I love
microphone
playing
in my
this.
mouth.
I
mean the microphone.
That's why we love playing this.
I so understand
It's a peek into your mind.
how that is. It's so eager to be there and please and do a good job, and you're nervous, and you're just over on the microphone, and
You're
so excited.
You're a bigger fan than the actual band, right?
I think that they kind of appreciated the fact that I knew the band.
You
that I
care
was
so much
new.
more about Black Sabbath than these guys care about Black Sabbath.
And maybe. I mean, I know I've met super fans before, and sometimes they remember stuff about you that you're like, oh, yeah, I guess that was a part of me.
Yeah.
That you don't remember about yourself, but I think they like the fact that it was somebody who was informed about what they do.
Oh,
and not
informed.
just someone who
Quite
was
informed or obsessed.
But I mean,
Two different things.
I adore Ozzy. He's my idol. But I mean, it was like I love these guys, and it was like it wasn't about just asking Ozzy questions through them. It was like I wanted to know them too. You know?
This is like the guy that runs the most hardcore Black Sabbath website ever, who would never get the opportunity to sit down with these guys, and that's what it was like watching Jimmy interview these guys. He had so much information, he's just letting it all come out at once.
They probably like the fact that it wasn't just, Ozzy, do you watch the Osbournes? Did you see, all that shit?
Right. I think I told him the date an album was released.
You
in
did.
Is that the clip?
That might be in there.
See, now that's scary to the artist.
No,
Jimmy.
'cause
That's
he asked,
frightening.
You might, I don't just play that for a second because that might be the one. Where
I backed up a little bit because I love how he says that song is phenomenal.
Phenomenal. I just jump in. It is a great song.
Can't because it's already out.
Yeah, I'm still doing that. I'm still doing that with Sabbath stuff. There's one song, Who Are You?
Phenomenal song.
I want to correct the drumming on it. In fact, if I ever got a chance, I'd love to re-record the drumming on it because it didn't turn out quite.
It's
like
fantastic. There's nothing wrong. That's off Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. There's nothing wrong with that song. That's just you have to find something as an artist. There's nothing wrong. It's fantastic.
That's a good example of wanting to. I mean, how long's it been since that came out? 30 years ago.
74.
and I'm still kind of kind of like every once in a while I kind of go, man, I wish we could re-record that. I'm just, still not settled with that one. So
74.
Just that things being unfinished, they're already out.
This is just, I'm loving this.
I creep myself out.
You're going to show up at his house with a briefcase. Now, I thought we could work on this stuff.
You're like those Trekkies, just every little.
What do you want? What do you want from me? I can't give it to you.
This is my pride and joy.
You are Rupert Pumpkin.
Oh, I'm a fool.
74. It's not 30 years.
Let's go to Josh in Colorado. Josh.
Hey guys, love you guys.
I want to mention that Norton interview sounded a lot like that Chris Farley skit on Saturday Night Live where he gets to interview big guys, and he's like, yeah, did you guys ever play with, you ever watch the Osbourne? Yeah, it was cool.
Somebody else pointed that out, too. It certainly wasn't intentional. It was just,
of course not.
You know.
It is
I love you guys.
so goddamn funny, Jimmy.
Just
It's just the way you're asking these questions. The guy said he would like to redo a song, and you told him no.
Right.
You pretty much told him no.
Because you know better.
You know better. No, that song is phenomenal. Leave it alone.
Perfect.
And watching Jimmy in the room, and you got to understand that there's not only is it me holding a microphone, but it's also Bill's assistant Walter and Kevin from Sanctuary and Adam from Jaeger in the room, and everybody's just this big grin on their face because everybody knows exactly what's transpiring here. This is the chance of a lifetime, and they're all watching Jimmy just foam at the mouth.
We were literally I was during Bill. You held the mic during one. I held it during Bill.
Oh, okay.
You know, and it was just like shaking a little bit. And but then I put my arm on the table. I'm like, stop fucking moving, stupid. And
man.
we were at this teeny little table in Sabbath Village in his trailer. So it was like being at a little kid's table in school with. It was amazing.
Did they tell him that it was a Make-A-Wish Foundation dream for you or something? Because that must have been what it looked like.
This is great. You don't get to hear something like this every day. It's someone that gets to interview their heroes.
It is
There's no one
very
bigger
rare.
to Jim Norton. I want to stress that.
Out there, pick the one person that you know you're never going to meet, you're a huge fan of. Now imagine sitting in a room with that person and talking to him.
If I had the chance to sit and talk back in the day to like Kurt Cobain, I would have shit my pants.
That would be a little crazy.
I would have lost my mind.
I remember the first real celebrity I wanted to see that I interviewed, or actually just a passing hello with the microphone because he was on his way to the dressing room, was Eddie Van Halen.
I remember that
We were
moment.
backstage at the Worcester Centrum, I
Yep.
think it was, and we're broadcasting from a table, backstage area, and there's kind of a little commotion down the hall, and we look, and here comes Eddie Van Halen walking down the hallway. And I got up, and it was around the time where he was having his hip replacement surgery or something, so I just stood up and I had to ask him something, and popped into my head. It was like, Eddie, how's the hip doing? You going to be okay for the show? And I put the mic out there, and he started talking into the mic that I'm holding. I was staring into his face like a lover look. And I heard nothing he said. All I was doing is looking and thinking, oh, my God, it's Eddie Van Halen a foot away from me. I didn't hear a word of his answer, and I must have looked like I was in love. It was so embarrassing.
You just said something that was really weird. It just hit me, and I didn't realize this is one thing I actually did right. I always do. I panic and I zone out, and I'm like,
yeah.
But that was one thing I did during these interviews, is I listened. I couldn't believe I actually was, with everything they were saying, it wasn't just Bill Ward's mouth is opening, words.
It's so hard to do just because you're looking at the person and you're like, holy shit, that's the person I see on this or TV and that. And
I'm not saying I wasn't nervous or that there wasn't complete adoration, because I was, and there was.
I don't think you have to even comment on the adoration,
right.
Jimmy. I think it speaks for itself.
I was trying to be unbiased. Didn't go well. Trying to be middle of the road. But yeah, I did listen. That you just said that. It's funny you said that.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to, where are we going? Brian in North Carolina. Brian.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, tell little Jimmy that he's like the fucking Black Sabbath Rain Man. 74, yeah.
74. 74.
It was nice to have Bill almost ask something that I could be helpful with.
Right.
I just wanted to be helpful.
He doesn't care
Yeah,
what
you can go watch
what
that
year it
one,
was
Jeff Wapner.
released.
What's that, buddy?
I said, go watch Jeff Wapner.
All right, thank you. Let's go to Staten Island. Jimmy, what's up?
Yo, this is like worse than MTV Fanatic.
Yeah, it is like Fanatic.
It's worse, though. 74. What the fuck? He did the song. You told him it was phenomenal.
I was helping my friend. My buddy Bill had a question. And what kind of friend am I if I don't give the information?
Right.
If Anthony goes, hey, Jim, what year did the Yankees do this? If I help, I tell him.
You throw out the info.
Bill asked a question. I thought about it. I just happened to mention it.
He said 30 years. No, it was 31 years, and I'll show you it was 31 by giving you the actual date.
I didn't mean to do the actual date. The mic just kind of came up, and I just went 74.
That is very funny. It's like, 30 years ago. No, 31 years.
4.
Like he's just rounding it off, obviously. Right. 30 years ago. 74.
Sean in Jersey.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey.
Hey, when Jimmy asked this guy if he would come at the studio with him, and he says, I'd be open-minded to it, that's the equivalent of, like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, I'm open-minded to
Yeah,
that.
we didn't pick up on that. Very good.
No, I think he would want to do his own. And I was making sure he understood I wasn't trying to glom onto his radio show and like, hey, can I do a show with you forever? I just wanted him to know that just a shift would be a thrill to, to bring you on
Yeah.
XM and do a shift with you on the Boneyard.
That's probably going to happen.
I made that call to Eric Logan on the way in to see if it was okay to ask that.
Do you actually think that would happen?
Absolutely.
I got an email
Yes.
from Bill's people, and it's going to happen in the
Wow.
fall.
Wow.
Bill Ward I'm not just saying because he's Bill Ward, but he's a sweet guy, man, and I think he's actually a completely honest guy.
Could be losing Jimmy now.
And there's
another radio show.
Another radio show.
There's a little thing he said that turned out that he wanted to correct himself after. He grabbed us later and goes, whoa, what I said before wasn't true. We'll play that. It was great. That's why I love him.
Ooh. All right, let's say hi to Dave. Dave?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, I wanted to kind of stick up for Jimmy. I think that's just testimony of how genuine you guys are. He represented, that would have been any one of us meatheads talking to that guy. I mean, we're all fans of somebody. I mean, we would have been the same way. I think that just shows how genuine and honest he really is. I mean, that's your show, and that's what separates you. There's no hack radio guy in there trying to interview and give this bullshit, come off of trying out. He's just professional, but he's just honest. I mean, man, I think he did a great job. Even though it's
thanks,
funny,
man.
but he did a great job, man.
All right,
Thank
Dave,
you.
Thanks. Let's go to Orlando. O-Town, check it in.
O-Town.
We're coming to get you, brother.
All right, what's your question, tough guy?
What's up,
Hey,
Eric?
what's up, guys? Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, buddy.
And first off, I'm a big fan of yours, especially Little Jimmy, my idol for comedy.
You angel.
Yeah, I just had a situation similar to Jimmy.
You had a what?
I met Korn and Snoop Dogg last year at the Project Revolution tour over in Tampa. They had an after party at a club, and when I met Jonathan Davis and Fieldy and all Snoop all together, and they're giving autographs, I even froze up. So I can understand how it could be sometimes.
Yeah, man, you don't want to misstep, but for some reason it was almost like this was so overwhelming and so big, and so it was almost like because Ozzy was obviously Ozzy, so we had him in studio. I froze on that one, and the guys picked up the slack, and then I finally asked some questions. One-on-one, I may be more effective actually, because I would probably listen more as opposed to just watching open and just talk, but. I was happy with at least the fact that I was able to speak with these guys. And when I felt like, all right, you don't want to push it, you wrap the interview up and, whatever.
All right, let's say hi to George. George?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, George?
You guys see that movie, The Incredibles?
Of course.
Well, I have a 3-year-old son who watches it all the time, and Jimmy reminds me of Buddy. I'm your biggest fan. I love crime-fighting moves.
Yeah, we should get that clip for Jimmy.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. And I could just see Billy going, Jimmy, go home. Later, boys.
All
See
right,
ya, man.
very good. One last clip, and then we'll save the other interviews for tomorrow or something. Your exclusive interview with Tony Iommi tomorrow on the program.
Oh.
More of the same, I'm sure.
Oh, no, I was...
And then Geezer Butler as well. But first, the last question you got to ask Bill Ward.
Is there anything you look at where you look back, and there has to be so many songs, but is there one song where you look back on and you go, that was a fucking masterpiece that I pulled off? Were you just so proud of what you did, more so than the other stuff?
Well, I like a lot of the work that I did on Masters of Reality. I really like that album, and I think that one is kind of a peak where it shows the first 5 years of Black Sabbath. Even though that was the third album, the band had been playing since '68, so
Masters
kind
of
of
Reality.
reached a time when there was so many tours under our belt at that point, and we'd already recorded 2 other albums at the time. So I think that album was a really good album in the sense that it captured a time when the band were doing everything together, literally eating together, sleeping together, and playing on the road constantly.
Is that back in the days of 4 guys on one bus?
Oh, 4 guys in one bed sometimes, man. We were still sharing rooms and stuff. I shared the room with Ozzy, of course, but you can't have all the luck, you know what I mean? But Masters of Reality, I rather like some of the things that I played on that one.
I think I actually wound up I quoted what the songs that they did off Master Reality. I kind of realized I was a psychopath.
Really?
Yeah, like what's the next question? If
that was it.
Okay.
For this one.
There's one part where I'm like, you guys, cause the set list, and I name all 4 songs off Master Reality they're doing for the set list, and I kind of even irritated myself.
Wow, yeah. Why didn't Steve give us that? That's the stuff we want to hear.
I don't know.
Maybe we can
That was
find that
very
after the
good.
break. Very good. You're getting rave reviews there, Jimmy. Frank in the Poconos.
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like all the bullshitting and, the teasing Jimmy aside and all, I got to say, this really is like a refreshing, for a change, a refreshing musician interview. Like, things like Jimmy said, instead of, he wanted to ask them if they were coming up with a new studio album, like every other interviewer would. Instead of, busting balls, he got into the more, meat of the conversation, which people want to hear about. It's refreshing.
Thank you, man.
All right, there you have it. Thanks, Frank.
Okay, guys.
Are these all going up on the website?
Yeah, we'll put the entire interviews up.
That'd
in
be
their
great,
entirety.
yeah. And you could download and hear every bit of it.
Every bit of Jimmy just interviewing his heroes. What's that, Steve?
This is a clip of Bill catching up with us afterwards and correcting something he said. I'm
Oh,
not
this is like
sure.
a 1-minute clip. What happened was this. We were
He
talking,
what?
We were talking about something. Well, he corrected his clip. We had been talking about the set list. I was talking. This is probably where I named the songs off Master of Reality. If anybody's curious, it was Children of the Grave, Into the Void, After Forever, and Sweet Leaf. And we were discussing that, and he said we might not do Into the Void tonight for no reason. He said sometimes we just shorten up the set list a little bit. He was kind of just said, no, we might not do it tonight. I'm not too sure. We might not. And then we kept going. And an hour later, we see him, and he remembered our names. He goes, Jim, Steve? And he calls us over, and just, this is why I love this guy. Okay, once again, we're with the great Bill Ward. We are outside here in Sabbath Village at Ozfest.
Yeah, I just wanted to, earlier on in the interview, we were talking about Into the Void, and I happened to mention that we probably might not be playing that, and there's no reason for that. But that was bullshit. We have a reason for not playing Into the Void tonight. So because we're doing back-to-back gigs, we tend to tighten up the show a little bit, and it works out a little bit better for the band. So that's what's going on.
So Into the Void is coming out. It's basically just a timing decision.
As a matter of fact, tonight I don't know if we're actually playing it tonight. We may actually play it tonight, but on the last 2 shows this weekend that just went, we didn't actually play it. So hopefully we will be reinstating it into the show within the next couple of shows.
Thank you, Bill. You're the greatest.
I just want to clean that up. So what I said earlier was not correct.
We have a shirt for Bill too.
We certainly do.
We have. Is that give him the XM shirt? We got you.
Bill gets a shirt.
Oh, thank you. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay,
I appreciate that.
Thanks again, Bill.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Wow. Okay, first of all, what I come away with from that clip is he's as crazy as you are.
Yeah,
that he felt compelled to come back to you and tell you
There's
that,
a whole-
about that song.
There's a whole OCD thing happening
It's
there.
Yeah,
crazy.
he's just an honest guy. That he couldn't allow
Honest.
that incomplete answer.
Insane, of
Maybe
course.
a little crazy.
A little crazy. Jim, Steve, I've got to tell you, no. We're playing the song, or we might not play. Like, I still don't know if they're playing the song or not.
No, it was about the reasoning. What he was saying was, like, the first time the reason he gave, like, was like, no reason. Like, I said, into the void, he goes, we're not going to play that tonight, no reason. But then later he goes, no, that
There
wasn't
was a
true.
reason.
We try to tighten up the shows on back-to-back days. And I kind of, I like the fact that he just wanted to clarify that and make sure it was honest and not a lie.
It's a piece of information that everybody, I think, a casual person like myself would have completely bypassed, but but Jimmy and Bill both obsessed completely over it, and you could tell.
No, you know what happened? He was hanging out with somebody a few yards away, going, "There's a fucking lunatic I was talking to earlier." Which one? That guy right over there. Who? The guy? No, there's a fucking lunatic over there. The guy to the right. No, look, I'll go up and talk to him. That's a fucking madman. I love it.
Yeah,
It's great.
I can't wait
Just
for tomorrow.
A complete fan talking to one of his heroes.
And
It's
they were
fantastic.
the most genuine guy, and they did actually talk a little bit about having to do certain songs because Ozzy,
Yeah, you got to pace him.
Well, yeah, because the notes are a little different.
Right. Yeah, the guy's no kid anymore. You know?
All right, Kevin in Salt Lake. What's up, Kevin? Kevin!
Yo!
Let's go.
A wind tunnel.
Hey, I was just wondering how many times did Jimmy come in his shorts, and if he's going to frame those shorts that he was coming in when he's doing an interview.
All right, sir. 4.
Frame his jizz-stained shorts.
The answer is 4. Joe in Arizona.
Hey, this is Joe.
Hi, Joe. You're in Arizona.
Yeah, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, man.
Right.
Hey, I love you guys' show, man.
Thank you.
Hey, I want to hear the part of Jimmy's interview where he says, totally crying.
I'm absolutely crying.
I think a part of the Geezer interview, he does actually make reference to weeping. Yeah.
I'm absolutely crying here. I was in the same room. It was amazing. Pale Rider from Whackbag.
What's up, boys? I gotta ask you, what's more disturbing, the fact that Jimmy knew that the album came out in '74, or that Jimmy was only 5 years old when that album came out?
I know.
74. I was 5.
Yes.
We're 5.
I was 6.
And not for nothing, him and Bill Weir have a lot in common. When Bill was talking about like drumming tempos and all that before, he's drumming like 84 times in a minute. I mean, between him and Jimmy's dress, I suck. Relatable.
He jumped. He was going somewhere, and he just realized it was spinning out of control.
All right, Jason in Virginia Beach.
Hey, fellas, how you doing?
Hey.
Back in '97 or '98, I've been a big Dale Earnhardt fan since I was, a little kid.
God damn.
I had an opportunity to meet him at like a meet and greet with like 20 people. It was me and my wife, and we get up there to a table, and I was so starstruck. The only damn thing I could say to him is, I like you.
Oh, that's bad. How embarrassing.
Just the look on his face and my wife's face, just totally embarrassed the hell out of me.
It's like a childhood thing, man. It's like you're not speaking from an adult, a man meeting a man perspective. You're speaking like you're looking at it's like looking at a clown when you're in Ringling Brothers. Like to actually talk to that person when you're 4 or 5. That's the same vibe.
Something just happens in your brain. He's not a hero of mine, but I told the Peter Jennings story. I see him in Central Park. I'm sitting on a bench just hanging out, and he's fighting that lung cancer. And I saw him with his kids walking in the park. This is 3-4 months ago. And I got to tell you, he looked awful. And I personally don't think it looks good for Mr. Jennings.
Dr. Hughes, thank you for that diagnosis.
And
I'm sure he'll be thrilled.
And so I'm thinking, here's my moment to say something to Peter Jennings. And I pointed to my cancer bracelet that I wear for Brother Weeze. And the only thing I could think of was, good luck, bro.
Good luck, bro.
That's what came out of my mouth.
Like he's playing a pickup game.
And I saw him coming for probably 100 yards. And I'm like, you got to say something. It's Peter Jennings, the fight of his life.
There's nothing you can say.
I support this cancer thing. Everyone does. And I got my cancer bracelet. So I'm like, what are you going to say to Peter Jennings to make him maybe smile inside a little bit? Maybe make his day a little better than it is.
Nothing.
And the best I could come up with on the spot was a thumbs up and a good luck, bro. Good luck, bro.
There's nothing you could say to a celebrity on the street that sounds cool, new, hip, or anything they haven't heard before. Most of it sounds ridiculous because you're freaking out. But I think the best thing you could just say is a recognition of, hey, man, I love your work. Or if they have something recent out, say, I caught this and it's great. In passing, you're not going to stop. You're not going to get a relationship with this person.
Yeah.
You're not going. It's one of those moments that, and it's so hard to come off like it's kind of casual. Usually like, loved you. And you look like an idiot, and it's very hard to do. So a lot of times you just look and walk by and tell your friends you saw that person. That's it. Great, you. What?
Well, the dude that played Ned Ryerson was living in my neighborhood for a while.
Ned Ryerson.
From Groundhog's Day. And I saw him coming, so I thought I'd be witty. And I was like, Ned Ryerson?
Like he hasn't heard that. I sure as heck fire remember you.
Right, the look on his face, I think he wanted just to strangle me.
And, there's always got to be one buzzkill in life. And I got to just really quick address the post. A guy named Dan Aquilante.
Uh-oh, I see the headline, and I'm not even getting close to Jimmy.
Because I know what this guy is. I know what he's just one of these Rolling Stone magazine.
Well, let's try to get him on the air. It's a New York paper, isn't it?
Too hip for the room kind of guy.
I want to
we're trying to get him on.
In his face. He trashed Sabbath, where Ozzy created horror with his cringe-inducing vocals. Ozzy sounded phenomenal, and everyone said he sounded phenomenal. The only time he cracked was on the last song. And then when I saw him, it was the last 2 songs, because he had been screaming the whole show in between songs. He does. He's Ozzy.
Yeah.
He sounded phenomenal. It's the best I've ever heard him sound, because I think he's sober now and he's healthy. And this guy is just probably one of these jerk-offs who likes certain types of classic rock and he didn't like it. And the Daily News gave it a phenomenal review. They were like, Iron Maiden, Sabbath, that's what a show is. They give you everything. They're not too hip for the room. They're just, and this motherfucker, Dan Aquilante, you're a cocksucker, and you're the type that just goes out and trashes something like this because you think you're too hip and that this is what you do.
He works Land of Oz, it says.
Instead of Band of Oz or Land of Oz.
Land of Oz, that's even a reach.
He works in the afternoons. You should call him and record it.
And he says
the radio tomorrow.
Yeah. The two were
Can we
best.
set that up? I'm serious. Because he'll probably talk to you, and you could call him from home, and you have a little discussion about it.
And
bring in the tape.
The two were best early when they roasted War Pigs. Later hitting the same kind of high for Iron Man and Black Sabbath. You're glad you liked War Pigs and Iron Man. Sorry you didn't like Dirty Women or Electric Funeral. You're not a real fan. You're some jerk off in comfortable slacks who shows up and writes for a paper and gets free tickets, and you're the fucking worst. When we saw the Stones do that press conference, it was all you jerk-offs in the business that sat there in the front row with your arms folded, kind of tapping your feet because you're too hip to enjoy the music. Everybody else loved the fact the Stones came out. Fucking Mick Jagger's 30 feet from you, singing for free, and you scumbags in the business all sat there with your fucking legs crossed like a bunch of coffee-clutch faggots.
Too cool. Hey, I review the music, man. I can't enjoy it.
What is this?
I'm beyond enjoying it as music,
Just
man.
studying them as much as they can to find that one thing they can pick apart.
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting there and enjoying it for
And
the
I've
moment it was.
And I've seen Ozzy not be up to par in all the years I've seen, and there's been times where he wasn't good because he was whatever. Please, he's gone through all these phases. He was phenomenal this time, and I'm not just saying that as a biased fan. The band was really tight.
You're
and
a
that's what
biased
annoys
fan?
me. Well, I am at times.
Never really
But this
noticed.
Dan Aquilante from the Post, just a fuck. That's what you
gotta
are.
call him later.
You're a fuck.
Yeah, give him a ring. Give him a ring off air. Tell him you're recording him for the show, and have a little conversation with the guy. I think that would be great radio. Let's say hi to Sally in Illinois.
Hi.
Hi.
Jimmy,
Sally.
when you were done with all your interviewing, did you go home and flop on your bed and put your headphones on and shut your eyes and play all the songs you had discussed?
No, what I actually did when I went home...
Like a teenage girl?
Because I had Bill, Tony, and Geezer sign the pictures I had with them. And Bill actually loved the picture of he and I together. He's like, send me a copy of that.
Ooh.
So I'm going to. They all signed the pictures, and I took them home, and the first thing I did was wash out my frames and put my pictures in my frames so they wouldn't be damaged.
Washed your frames?
Well, my glass frames. I had just they'd been dusty from moving.
Oh,
So
right.
I put my pictures in the frames.
Very responsible of you.
I'm a big boy.
Very good. That's really bizarre. Ben in ND. Is it Ben in North Dakota?
Yes, sir.
What's up, Ben?
Hey, you guys ever heard of Dream Theater?
Yeah.
I met them guys are just my idols, and I met them about a year ago. And I was so nervous meeting the guitar player that I went up to him, asked him something about his guitar, and I said, well, hey, I'm in the Air Force, and I'm here to protect you. How gay is that?
Your brain just stops working in those situations.
I know, I was so embarrassed. And I'm meeting him again for a meet and greet in a week.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't remember me.
Look at this fucking this Aquilante. I hope this guy is killed in a car accident. He said, "We're the Iron Boys, Iron Maiden. We're often overpowering with their three-guitar crunch. Sabbath is extremely lean, totally depending on Iommi's concise yet powerful fretwork. Iommi's rhythm-based style was supported by fat old Bill Ward's tremendous drumming."
Oh,
why? You
That is-
fucking Rolling Stone magazine-loving jerk-off.
That is not necessary.
I'd like to fucking bite your neck for your lack of your completely biased review. I guarantee you have faggoty music taste. I'd love to see his iPod.
Jimmy would kill for Sabbath.
I know he would.
This makes me sick. It's a disingenuous review.
Just nod and agree.
It's a disingenuous review.
Yes.
Yes.
Why the paper the day before Maiden, Sabbath, and what now all of a sudden Sabbath was awful, but you like Maiden? They have 11 musicians.
Fat old.
It's
That's not
fucking it's
necessary.
sickening for a drummer to be able to do what he's doing at his age. It's just this I'd like to stab this cocksucker right in his eye with a pen.
Sal makes a good point on the line here.
Hey,
Sure.
Jimmy.
Exploring
how
all
are
of
you,
the
fellas?
angles
How
of
are
Jimmy's
ya?
obsession. Go ahead, Sal.
Hi, fellas. Listen,
buddy.
Jimmy, is it possible for someone to not like the same thing you do?
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Okay, so you say it's a biased opinion. Perhaps your opinion's slightly biased because your head is up their ass?
First of all, stop talking in your little lilt, dude. Maybe because I'll sound smarter if I talk like this. I've admitted, dude, shut up. I've admitted that I'm biased. I'm honest about it. I am not a reporter supposedly doing something unbiased. Yes, asterisk, this is an editorial. I understand that. But I am biased. I admit I'm biased.
Okay, so what's disingenuous about a person's opinion?
Because he's trashing him, and Ozzy sounded good, and everybody...
He doesn't like him. He doesn't like him.
Then why not just say, I don't like Black Sabbath, instead of coming off like you're giving an honest review and saying that they didn't sound good, when Ozzy sounded better this time than he has in years because he's healthier.
Maybe that's honest to him.
It's
His
not
opinion
honest
is
to
that.
him. It can't be honest to him.
It can't be because it differs from your liking? Is
No,
that
because
what
it
is?
differs from what everybody I've talked to has said. He's a jizzbag.
Ben, we got to get this
Ozzy
guy on
was
the air
great,
now.
Therefore, Ozzy was great. That's ridiculous.
Ozzy sounded good. He
To
just
you,
did,
he
dude.
sounded good.
I know when he sounds bad. I've seen him enough times.
Because you're a fan. If this guy isn't a fan, he's
Then
not
what the
gonna
fuck
write
is
your
he doing
opinion.
reviewing something in a newspaper if he can't be unbiased?
Who says he's biased just because he didn't like the guy?
Everybody said it, and you just did, stupid, and I did. He's biased.
I didn't say he was biased.
You said if he doesn't like Black Sabbath, that means he's biased,
Okay,
idiot.
so that's his opinion. Hey, I'm here to
Then
write
he
an
shouldn't be
opinion
fucking
article.
reviewing
I don't
something.
like him.
If he doesn't like Sabbath going in, he can't review them unbiased. Why the fuck's he doing a review?
Because that's what he does. He gets paid to write things that he thinks of. I go to see a movie, and I'm a reviewer. I tell you it stinks. That's my job.
You're not supposed to do that if you're a critic. You're supposed to give an unbiased opinion on the performance.
Okay, so if I go into a movie and I say, here's my unbiased opinion, I didn't like this and this. Well, there you go. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was good.
He's full of shit.
He's full of shit because it doesn't match with your
It
theory.
doesn't match with what anybody said who saw it.
Who was there who saw it? Fans?
A bunch of people. No, people from the station. People who worked for Billy Burr saw them. So he was blown away.
Billy Burr's great, by the way.
Yeah, he is very funny.
But anyway, so...
Oh, that's biased. No, let's not talk about Billy Burr. That's biased.
I like Billy Burr. My opinion is Billy Burr's good. You
Exactly.
disagree?
But you know,
Disagree.
let me give you an example. There are times where I'll watch something and I don't think it's particularly funny, and yet I still understand that it's funny, and I recognize that it's funny because I know my craft well enough. You understand what I mean? It's
Okay,
like,
but isn't it okay to go to someone, you know what, I saw this, but I didn't like it?
Yes,
That's your
it
opinion?
absolutely is.
Okay,
but if
so
I
is he
let
doing
me
the same
finish,
thing?
dude. Let me finish answering your question. But if I go and I disingenuously say, yeah, but the joke structure sucked, or this and that sucked, you understand? Like Greg Proops is a guy who I disagree with politically on every level. I don't watch Greg Proops, but I know Greg Proops is a really funny comic.
He's a great comic.
I watch him, and I
love
understand.
him.
So for me to go, yeah, I'm not a fan because I don't agree with him, is one thing. But for me to come off like I'm fucking giving an unbiased opinion and then start critiquing, well, his joke structure was weak and the punchlines were soft, that's where the bullshit comes in. That's what I'm talking about with this review. I'm not talking about having a personal dislike of Black Sabbath. That's acceptable. But don't come off like you're fucking unbiased, because that's what he's doing.
You're an angry little fellow. But
I'm not an angry fella. I don't like bullshit like that.
All right, let's go to Mike. Mike?
I don't
how
like...
are ya? I'm a brand
Sorry, I'm
new
yelling.
XM subscriber, and I really enjoy your show.
We
But I
don't
want-
give a shit.
You're biased.
I am biased.
Stop kissing our ass and just listen.
Okay. Listen, Dan Aquilante, I'm in Houston, but Dan Aquilante is a very well-respected rock critic who's been writing for a long time. He has written very favorable things about Black Sabbath in the past.
I don't
believe
care.
I believe he supported their induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If he felt the show was weak, it's because he's got a frame of reference in which he's probably seen them 25 other times and written about them 10 other times.
First
the
of all-
man knows what he's talking about, and if his opinion differs, so be it, but he's not writing it because he hates them.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what you're saying is true. I've never read anything by this jackoff. I know Ben was saying that he has trashed things that were obviously good before.
That's what I was going to say. Well,
Hold on, dude. Hold on.
No. He's hated by a lot of people. First of all, I went to an STP show. It was right after Lane Staley died, and they opened up with a Pink Floyd song. It was the best STP show I'd ever seen. He trashed them the next day in the paper, saying it was terrible. They sounded great. That was at Hammerstein Ballroom. And then I remember reading about how he gave Dave Matthews a bad review once, so Dave Matthews wouldn't even give him tickets to concerts. And I've read, there's been like 3 or 4 times I've gone to shows that he's reviewed, that he's trashed, that I thought were great. There's been like once that I've gone to a show that he said was good, that was good. So
We got to get Dan on the phone.
And dude,
man.
as a fan,
this would
dude,
make for some
dude,
great
hold on.
radio.
He's not quote unquote a fan.
Dude, I am talking
He's a
about
very well respected
I don't care. Dude, a lot of well-respected critics. Rolling Stone is a well-respected rock magazine, and I think it stinks. It stinks.
Well,
it's never represented anything I liked in music. The fact, dude, this is...
That's because you're a little too young.
I'm 37, you idiot.
No. Because
No, I'm not 37.
You're 10 years younger than I am.
All right, good. So you're fucking middle-aged. You have no idea what you're talking about.
No, yes I do.
Shut
I have
up.
a teenage daughter.
Good.
So
You know what, though, dude? I mean, this guy's going to write an article. It's up to him. There's no reason to get angry. Everyone has opinions, and there's nothing wrong with having opinions that are different than mine. I'm all for it, and I'm all for everybody just kind of feeling good. 47 years young, this guy's a fucking cunt. He's a biased cunt, and I know what he's doing. Well, you know what? Rolling Stone has been around for a long time. They've helped a lot of bands. They help a lot of people get where they got to go, and that's the important thing in music. Everybody feeling good and dancing. But you know what? Rolling Stone only helps fucking alternative faggoty bands. Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn are on the cover of Rolling Stone. Where the fuck is Black Sabbath? They've never been on the cover. You're going to tell me, like, you know, that all the fucking stuff they've done, they never deserved the Rolling Stone cover? With that, but then again, if he wrote in Houston and he's now writing here, and a lot of people respect him, he's probably been all over the country. This is a guy who just reaches a lot of people. He's got an opinion, and it differs than mine, and that's okay. I hope he's killed in a drunk driving wreck on the way to his daughter's fucking wedding. I hate him. I hate him.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason, for that suggestion on the phones, by the way. That's for the new listeners. We found out a while ago that Jimmy has music that calms him down when he's in a rage, and that song
Chameleon
happens to be Karma Chameleon.
It's a happy song
by the Culture Club.
It's a happy, fun song, and who could be mad when they're listening to that, right?
Look, maybe Aquilante wrote stuff about Sabbath. I don't know. I just didn't like this review. I felt I know where it's coming from.
I don't know this man. I don't know what he does.
Just tell him that you don't want to read his garbage column. He'll understand. Believe
We got to get him on the air. We'll see how brave he is.
I'm sure he'll come
We'll
on.
have a fair and honest discussion with the guy.
Because Ozzy's dude, what bugs me is, as a fan, I'm not that dumb that I can't see when Ozzy's off or when the band. You know, I mean, there's certain like drum rolls I wouldn't notice or bass lines that Geezer, whatever. But I mean, Ozzy at least I would know.
Right.
I've seen him enough times. I've been watching Ozzy live since '83.
All right, Martin in New York.
Hey, just wanted to call up, and Jim, you got to admit, Bill Ward looked a little scary drumming up there without his shirt.
Oh, dude, that's why I love him. That's beautiful. That's the beauty of him.
My wife was there, and she's like, "Oh my God, is Grandpa up there drumming?"
Dude,
now,
Bill Ward should be dead. He's fucking had heart attacks. He's, you know, the beauty is he's still alive and he's drumming, and that's the beauty of him. So what? He takes his shirt off. He should be. He's Bill Ward.
How old a lad is he?
He's got to be in his mid-50s. I'm not
Really?
sure, 68. I'm guessing. There was one. I can't remember.
All right, Mike in the Finger Lakes. Mike?
Yeah, I just love it when Jimmy Norton goes off. You're one of the funniest guys in the show, and there's a lot of credence to what you're saying. Keep up the great work, and punching out.
All right. Let's say hi to Sean in Jersey. Sean?
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
Hey, what's up, Sean?
I was at the show on Tuesday. I've been to 6 other Ozfests. I've seen Ozzy live. I've seen Black Sabbath live before.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was the third song in, War Pigs. Ozzy was off timing on the vocals.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't?
No.
It wasn't that great of a show.
It was a great show.
It wouldn't. All right.
Dude, everybody. Now, I didn't see this particular show. I had left early. But everyone I know said that the show was very good. Now, I would never leave a Sabbath show.
We were about to call you out on that, by the way.
I had to leave because I was sunburned and very tired.
Jimmy, it turns out that...
I didn't even think about that.
I'm glad that Jimmy decided to smash himself because we were right there. Yeah, it is a fact that Jimmy actually didn't make it all the way through Ozfest, and as much as he's a hero of Black Sabbath, he actually wanted to beat the traffic back to New
No, that
York.
wasn't about being a traffic. I'll tell you what that was about. I had been up since 6. I'd gotten 2 hours sleep. I was dead. I was sunburned, and to be honest with you, Steve wanted to go, and it was totally cool. But the pictures I had, and I had a signed Bill Ward poster rolled up in this bag.
Yeah, you
and I didn't have a seat. We didn't have seats, and I knew I'd be on the lawn.
Yep.
And I was really worried, honestly, about being up there with these fucking 3 signed photos from these guys in this poster and having them get fucked up, and then having to find the promoter. I mean, not the record label guy. Gavin offered to drive me back.
We wouldn't have been out until after 11, and I was afraid of getting home at 1:15, 1:20 in the morning, and then having to get up at 6:15. That was just a practical decision.
And
I've never done that before in my life.
And to finish up, Dan, that you just completely destroyed and wishes that he would just flat out die.
That's not what I meant.
He reviewed Ozfest a few years back, and we have that review as well, which is much different than the one that is in today's paper. And he writes, let's see, after the bushwhacking opener, Ozzy Osbourne was every bit as charismatic, funny, and down-to-earth as he is on his MTV reality series. He adds, surprisingly, he and his bandmates retained the spark of what made them great way back when. The band's classic songs of death, apocalypse, and destruction riddled its set. But
Hold on. I got to take a breath on that one. I was waiting for this to take a whole different turn.
Oh, wow. And destruction riddled its set, but there was no ballads, just Hammer of the Gods metal.
It sounds like he enjoyed the show.
So that is an old review where he really did enjoy it.
That sounds like a fair review. I didn't like where this review was coming from. It was a dick-headed smack at Ozzy and the band, and I didn't like it. And again, that's not just a review. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, this show he was off.
Even though you didn't see the show.
Exactly, fucker. Hopefully, a lot of rumors are rampant. This will be the last edition of Ozfest. Hopefully, that rumor just applies to Ozzy.
And you were
fuck yourself.
And you were
fuck yourself.
And you left early because you were tired, right?
No, please. I've never done that before, and I would never do it again. It was just a practical decision.
The troublemaker, writes, but you weren't tired to go to Caroline's and get a hooker that night.
One of the main reasons. Dude, what relaxes?
Listen to him laugh. And Ben, you can't leave.
And then he just leaves.
You can't leave and leave us all uncomfortable in the studio now.
No, Ben is right. Please, Ben is absolutely right. The main thing, I was exhausted standing there, dude. And I was really worried about these photos that I had and this rolled-up Bill Ward poster that was signed. I'm like, these are things that are absolutely irreplaceable. You will never get these again. And Bill had also said that the show was going to be a bit shorter that night. And I'd seen it like 5 days before. So I'm like, you're exhausted. It was 4 hours. I get out 4 hours earlier. I didn't leave halfway through Sabbath's set. This was a 4-hour difference. That's why. And I wound up going to Caroline's at the end because I heard it was an after-party for this movie.
For the Aristocrats.
And silly me, I figured I'd go there and see if I could talk to people and possibly get them on the show. And get a couple of pictures, and that's absolutely what I went and did. And I talked to Bob Saget, and it was very, very genuine and very nice. And
one of the guys that will be in the Aristocrats movie is outside the studio. Yes. Otto.
Oh, Otto's here. Good.
With his puppet George. And we'll talk to Otto and George next. We just went like an hour and 15 without breaking.
Wow, we did. Look at that.
Also, Anthony, I hope we could get to it today.
Yes.
We have one of our favorite, I don't know, friends of the show. What do you want to call him? Just one of our faves. The Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik.
One of the best interviews we ever did, Jimmy.
Love the Iron Sheik.
And then he did liners for the show. Can we play one of the liners as we go to break?
What a complete ass this man is.
All right, you can do it there? All right, Dirk's going to do it for us.
Pleasure for me.
But when we get back, we have audio of our friend, the Iron Sheik, doing his acceptance speech for the WWE Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty much the same babble that he did for us when we interviewed him that day. Just in case you never heard. You don't have it?
I got it.
Ooh,
Hawk's got it.
Hawk always on the move.
See if it works.
Derek couldn't find it. Eric did find it. Oh, now they're screaming!
No, it's nothing.
Are you
like
on the air, or is this just in my headphones?
No, I'm on the air.
All right, go ahead, Derek.
He fucking names everything. He changes the name of everything in the folder all the fucking time.
I will back Derek up on this one.
To undermine you guys.
It is
true. Wait, this is way too inside for the listeners. Someone explain.
No,
Derek.
All right.
Derek.
What happens?
Oh, they're gonna fight!
Oh boy.
Eric
likes to reorganize things. He's very organized, and what he does sometimes is he'll rename and retitle things.
So what you're saying is
computer.
Derek would have easily found it because he was used to it being named one thing,
Correct.
and now it's named something else.
It's been renamed since the last time Derek had to play it.
Derek thinks that there's what was the original name of it?
To tell you the truth, I can't even remember.
It's the same name that it always has been. It's a liner.
Don't make a
Iron
fucking
Sheik.
maniac out of me.
Eric, you the shit is impossible to find half the fucking time. There's just so much.
And there's Ben in the other room.
Artists are
right
just
there on the screen, laughing.
It's just stuff gets changed so many different times. You rename things.
Why
all
would
the
you
time.
rename anything?
Well, maybe because it needed to be organized, or maybe
Well, no,
he had
why
a
would you-
typo for the millionth time.
Why would
on
you
something?
rename anything?
Oh,
Hey, I put them in here. I know where they fucking are.
Really? Then why didn't you play it?
I don't put your gay stuff in there, dude.
Oh.
Look, the stuff I put in there, I know where it is.
Jesus.
Because I play it.
This is a great look behind the scenes that happens every day.
Wait a minute, what gay stuff does he put in? I'm not sure. Listen,
Apparently the Iron Sheik audio is gay shit, right?
Wait, what else?
Dude, I swear to God, I get phone calls and emails from people all the time about folders of you putting stuff in here and stuff, and I have to go through there and clean it out.
Uh-oh.
Right.
You do, man.
Okay.
You're putting stuff in folders?
I want an
that don't
example of
belong in-
his organized gay stuff.
I want to hear more of Eric's stinging retort. Right.
Right, you are. You betcha.
So what do you say? You're saying that his typing is what are you saying? I mean, like,
The stuff was never changed. It's been there since
Have
it was
you
put into
renamed
the system.
anything?
No.
He's saying he's never renamed
Oh, my
anything.
God.
That's not true. That's,
No. Other stuff, yes. This Iron Sheik stuff,
Wait,
no,
wait.
I have not.
Oh, you rename other stuff, though.
Constantly.
Why would you rename something?
So it's better organized.
Wait. How is it better? Wait. How is it better organized if everyone knows it as one thing and you change it? How is that better organized?
That's the point. That's the point everybody's trying to make, Eric, is you are a very organized person and everybody's aware of that. But the reality is, when you're the only fucking person who knows what it's titled,
It's not organized
It's not
anymore.
organized, and we can't fucking find it anymore.
Now what? Now what is an example of one thing you've renamed?
Right.
Let's
Give
give
us
an
an
example of what you rename it.
Any of the
That's
stuff
not
that
an example.
One example.
Yeah, only-
something that
something
you
specific for listeners.
something was called something and you renamed it what?
There's been a lot. I
Well,
can't
give us
name
one.
it. I can't name
Like,
it.
for instance, on one folder that said producer, it now just says guy with glasses who laughs a lot.
That's the beauty of Ben.
How do you not love Ben?
You hear him cackling in different rooms.
How do
He's
you
like the
not
producer
love?
of the show, and all hell's breaking loose, and all he has as a response is a laugh in the background.
Ben is fucking Zelig. He just shows up in all these places. Whenever there's awfulness, all you see is that fat head with glasses.
This is funny. This
He
is
was-
funny stuff.
He was in here laughing at Jimmy.
Right, because he smashed Jimmy.
He
Well,
smashed
Jim,
Jimmy,
yeah,
and
Jim
he's laughing
left
at Jimmy.
Ozfest.
He goes into the production studio next door, into the producer, and he's cackling at these guys yelling at each other.
Because what happened is Eric moves the folders. Derek doesn't know what he changes the names and doesn't tell anybody, so that's what happened. So he was trying to find the Iron Sheik ID, which we played on Tuesday, and now we can't find it. Now
Wouldn't
we
it
just
be labeled Iron Sheik?
Yes, it is. Sorry, alphabetical order might be hard for him to grasp.
Oh,
Derek.
Listen, motherfucker, dude. It should just be in the fucking computer as Iron Sheik. You have all this shit organized, and you can't find it yourself half the fucking time. You came in this morning looking for shit.
What is
Asked
it
me
labeled
for
in
shit.
there?
What is it
It's right
called?
there on the screen next to you.
Artist is IDONA, and the title is Liner Space Iron Sheik 01.
So you have to know.
You have to know what it's in there in terms of its category. Eric will assign a specific name. IDONA is a title that Eric came up with.
Oh, so
for-
he's saying it's
Right.
still named Iron Sheik, but it's in so many subfolders.
Correct, thank
that
you.
have different names on it.
It's not under
No,
I.
It's not in a
Right.
subfolder.
It's
It's
not on-
one file in one folder. It's always been there, and it's always been labeled that. Nothing was changed.
It's
Derek's shaking his
Steve
head.
begs
no.
to differ.
Steve
beg
is begging
to
to differ.
I've been in a situation. Look, I'm not going to criticize Eric's organizational skills. They are impeccable over anybody's in here. But when he's the only one who knows what the changes have been, it makes it very hard for everybody else to find stuff that we're looking for.
Danny is now pointing at the screen like he's found something to really rail
These
Eric
guys
on.
love to
Ramon.
Oh, here it is. Yes,
the
Derek?
last modified date for the Liner Iron Sheik, which was the 14th.
So, days ago, about a week or so ago,
about a week and a half ago,
he had changed something with the Iron Sheik file.
And it's always been in there.
They've always been in there.
Ben!
Just to make it perfectly clear, Ben is the boss of all these guys, and that's all he has is to just laugh at him.
just laughing his ass off.
I love this.
Oh,
Funny. This is funny stuff.
This place is hysterical.
So why did you change it?
I don't remember changing that.
How could you not remember change? It must have been important enough to change it.
That is the same file. Anytime we went to play that file, those files have always been there and always had that name. I don't know why it was changed on the 14th. I don't know what I did
Remember
to
when
it,
it was
but
cards,
it was
Sophie?
always
Yeah.
there.
Remember when it was just you and I? You and me, and it was
And
carts.
you and me and just carts.
And some Iron Sheik was written in marker on a cart, and Opie would pop it in and hit a button, and you'd hear it. Now there's folders and subfolders and delete, and there's names being changed by one person.
There's a staff of 15.
There's 15 people and a cackling leader. He is great. They're yelling at each
That's
other.
the type of guy, because he likes to stir up shit. He's the type of guy that distributes the lead paint chips and then just goes room to room and laughs at the sick babies.
All right. Well, Eric's
Well, we
going
found 'em.
back to his station. We have found them.
Just to add to that whole mess that you guys just heard for 10 or 15 minutes, all hell is breaking loose, and this little thing on the top of the pen fell off and rolled under the broadcast thing here.
Uh-huh.
And I'm on my hands and knees trying to find it because something's going to happen if I don't find it.
Because you're insane.
Right.
So by the way, they have to
I was gone for about a minute
No
of that
one
whole
noticed.
thing because I'm on my hands and knees crawling around trying to find this stupid thing to the pen.
And no one even noticed you were gone. The lunatics.
So do we have it now? I mean, let me ask the producer, Nero.
He's off cackling
Ah,
somewhere
where's
else.
my fiddle, dude?
You got a bucket of water?
He's the best, man. Can't get enough of Ben who's laughing. All right. So what do we do now?
Well, we can play it, I hope. Who's got it? Derek?
Derek's got it.
Derek's got it.
Wait,
over
which
where
one do
he
you want to play?
I have number 2.
You know what that means to me? Nothing.
You know what that means to me? Glad Baggy's in the bathroom.
It actually meant something to me because that was the one I wanted.
All
The
right.
one that's 55 seconds long, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
But I'm wrong for knowing when Bloody Sabbath came out.
I know. He knows what number 2 is.
Number 2, that's colon 55.
Well, Anthony picked up on something this morning that goes along with all this shit.
Mhm.
The CD that was missing?
Oh, I know. It was frightening. There's a shitload of CDs in front of Opie on any given day, and it's stuff from news clips to songs that people send in.
The
to
Mississippi Burning
Mississippi
clip.
Burning clip. Like there's just
Penguin
there's
Sound.
CDs everywhere in plastic cases with papers that have printed little menu of
Track
what's on
list,
the
yeah.
track listing of what's
The
on
audio of
the
the
CD.
latest assault on the media.
They're all over. To anybody walking in here, you would think they're just thrown out there willy-nilly. Ope comes in. We come in a little early to listen to a couple of things. And he looks down and goes, where's the CD? Which CD was it?
Sue Johansson.
Where's the Sue Johansson CD? I'm like, what? We haven't even... I go, oh, a new one? He goes, no, the old one. It's here just in case we need to go to it at some
I
point.
gotta let go
and
to
it
stuff
hasn't,
just in case we're sucking wind.
and it's not here. I'm like, how the hell do you even know that one's missing? He knows every CD that's there, what's on them, where they are in front of him. They're positioned in some type of fucking order. I don't know.
And poor
Order
Eric
of
tries
confusion.
Poor Eric tries to keep up, and Ope is like, dude, I told you to organize these in order of things I may possibly think of.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah, that is very accurate.
I'm trying to be better. I really am.
This fucking poor bastard is trying to like get on the computer, and Ope's like, look, yesterday I was talking to my friend in Boston, and we discussed this. Why isn't it up?
Oh, God damn, that's funny.
I
Eric
just want
just-
everyone to think like me. That's
Poor
all.
Eric just has his hat backwards. He's just trying to suck mayonnaise into his awful mouth. Fucking being just shouted at.
That's why he's sucking all the mayonnaise.
No,
That's to make him feel a little better about himself.
That's what he would do when he was a boy, and the neighbor would put his you-know-what in his you-know-what. He would just pretend it wasn't happening and suck mayonnaise out of a little mayonnaise dispenser.
Oh, wow. Relabeling Ozfest Clips Romper Room.
Yes, British Madman _ what?
We'll just call it number 8. Hope you'll know what it is.
Yeah.
It's a madhouse.
And
A fucking madhouse.
The weird part about the missing CD, I knew we weren't even going to play it today.
No, but it had to be there.
But I knew I needed it in my area. Of course
and
you
that's
did.
all I know. If you want to help me figure it out, by all means, give me a call. Wow. All right. So,
number 2.
So we'll play number 2, sure.
This is Iron Sheik, World Wrestling Federation, 3-time champion, All-American AAU champion. Pleasure for me to the Anthony and Opium. Bring me here to New York to I say hello to all my wrestling fans and everybody know I'm the real Middle Eastern. Come to the greatest wrestling country and most famous city in the world, Manhattan, Madison Square Garden. I come 3 times champion. I want to say hello to all my wrestling fans, especially all American and also my Iranian friend. خدمت همه شنوندگان ایرانی عزیز سلام عرض میکنم. همه دنیا آرون شیخ خسرو وزیری رو میشناسن. Pleasure for me to I come back here again one more time to I talk to the Opium and Anthony, and pleasure for me always.
The very worst of the Opie and Anthony FU line.
Yeah, I want to send a big old fuck you out to OPEC, gouging motherfuckers. Oh, by the way, this is Dave.
Hey, this is a fuck you to Joey McCullough for fucking us over on our pay. Don't be a bitch your whole life, you motherfucker.
I would like to say fuck you to Lieutenant Ralph, you half-Irish, half-black motherfucker.
Fuck you.
I'd like to give a big fuck you to Union Pacific Railroad Line for fucking using archaic equipment and having their trains break down and not allowing me to get to my fucking apartment building because I live right by railroad tracks and the train stalls and I can't get through. So fuck you, Union Pacific.
This is a big F you to Marty. You want to come up and fucking ruin everybody's fucking night? That's great. Nobody wants to hear your stupid garbage that you thought you were cool when you were fucking 19 years old. Fuck you.
Yeah, I just want to give out a big fuck you to Jamie. Fuck you, you lying bitch.
I'd like to say F you, Chicago. Fuck you and your fucking Cubs. You'll never beat the Cardinals.
I would like to send an FU to Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. The conglomerated Marana Monroe class of prince.
Call the Opie and Anthony FU line at 1-866-FU line 1. 1-866-FU line 1. Well, fuck you very much.
Big news coming out of Washington from the XM compound.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, Anthony. They had a earnings report today.
What?
Earnings report.
What?
Earnings report. Now, this is huge. I'll tell you why. They did very well for the quarter. I won't bore people with the stats or
Give
numbers.
us everything in specifics.
Oh, my God.
No?
Basically, this is the line I want to say. With XM's first half performance and an even stronger outlook for the second half of the year, XM is increasing 2005 subscriber guidance from 5.5 million to 6 million ending subscribers. So by the end of the year, XM is now pretty much telling Wall Street they'll have over 6 million subscribers.
Wow.
When we started with XM less than a year ago, they were right around 2 million. They might have been like 2.1, I think. And I mention this because, you know, some of our old pals from the commercial radio, had to abuse Anthony and I. Fareed comes to mind. We had a sit-down meeting with Citadel's head honcho there.
Who, Citadel?
And the first thing he says to Anthony and I is, "Where have you guys been? No one has heard from you lately."
Thanks.
And I went, ow. That was a good one, right?
Yeah, whenever my ears ring for 20 minutes, it was a good one.
Sorry. I'll back off when I do that hack bit. But, you know, I just smile, and Ant smiles, and Jimmy was there. We just smile because we know what we're doing. We know this is the future of radio, you know, and you got to start somewhere. You got to take chances with your career. We knew. And every day it's just getting bigger and bigger. That's why we call this Spread the Virus, because it is a virus, this show, the ONA virus. Yeah. And a lot of people are going to be eating their words in the end. Suck it. So there you have it. I guess we're up to like 4.5 now, and we started at around 2. The company was at 2 when we signed, and now it's at 4.5.
Well, good news for the company. Let's check the stock. Down 50 cents. All right, great. Why does that happen?
Yeah, but then it'll probably pop tomorrow then. It was up like 50 yesterday, but it's been on a roll. It went from 28 to like 36 in the last week or couple of weeks or something.
It's also
like
because when you make a major announcement, a lot of times the investors panic and they're afraid it's going to diversify.
It's about the putses.
I should check on my
It's about the butses.
E-Trade account because I'm getting a 20-minute delayed quote here, and I think that was
the company
before they released.
Company doing very well, obviously.
Yes.
What there's a whack bag party tonight? They've taken it to the next level where now these guys are socializing with each other.
That could be dangerous.
They want to promote the whack bag party. Dugout Doug, what's up?
Good morning, fellas. How we doing? Yes, tonight will be Bang Party 3 at the Fat Black Pussycat, 130 West 3rd Street.
That's a great club, by the way.
Yeah, no.
Great lounge and all that. I love that place.
Yeah, actually, I have never been there. I'm very much looking forward to heading there tonight and
get there
hanging
early.
out.
Get there early and get all the couches in the back.
Actually, I think they've got a reserved room or something, from what I understand.
Okay.
So we've got a lot of space. There will be. I'm in negotiations right now with a major celebrity to be there tonight. It looks as though Big A will be attending.
Big A. Big
So
Andrew.
if anybody would like to get in there and get some pictures with the Big A and get some WOW stickers signed, you can definitely do that with Big A tonight at the Fat Black Pussycat.
Or it's like the Pope. If you bring your baby, like he'll lean over and bite its foot really hard.
But hopefully we'll see some people up there.
And what happens at these parties there, Dugout?
I have no idea. It's my first one. I'm driving all the way up there for a wedding, and it's Donkey Sausage's birthday today, so she was having a gathering tonight, so we figured we'd just explode the whole thing into a
Donkey
big
Sausage
old
is
whack bag
involved
Opie Anthony gathering.
with everything. She is involved with everything that goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was actually down here in Virginia Beach. She came down to visit with a couple other whackbaggers. They came and stayed with me for a week. That girl's out of her fucking mind.
Well, yeah.
She's a lot of fun, though. A lot of fun.
Yeah, she's a huge supporter of the show, and we trashed her in the beginning. But now she'll do just about anything for the show. So I want to acknowledge that. Is there going to be a lot of banging going on after this party? I hear you guys get a little crazy.
I have no idea.
I think I remember the first whack bag party, and it got a little saucy.
Will there be any box there at all?
I know I'm driving up with my girlfriend, so there'll be.
Oh, that's why.
Not
not
much action for me.
Right.
So,
all right.
But I don't know. I've seen a lot of the whackbaggers, and we tried to get a lot of the girls going. But I think it's just going to be a nice big sausage fest.
All right, give the plug again, Doug. We got to move on to a huge star in studio.
Fat Black Pussycat, 130 West 3rd Street.
Which is right
New
off
York City.
130. It's right off West 3rd by 6th Avenue. It's right between 6th Avenue and McDougal.
That's right.
Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.
All right, and you're in that area, you might want to go down to the Comedy Cellar. Great comedy club.
Owned by the same people.
You're pretty damn close to the Comedy Cellar. In studio, Otto and George.
Yes.
I'm bigger and better than ever.
2 million, 5 million.
It's getting bigger every day, Otto.
Yeah.
We're rebuilding our
Can't
radio
believe I'm
careers.
on the O&A show with Jim Norton in the studio.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Jimmy.
Little
Jimmy.
The highlight of your day, right, Otto?
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't recognize our friend over here at first. Half awake and everything. But you look good.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Kev.
Big Kev.
Yeah.
All right.
Medium Kev. Shrinking Kev. Yeah. Well, you are in a...
Just whenever Otto's nice, it's really funny. We've done, for so many years, I've done gigs with Otto.
I was just waiting for you to smash. I didn't know it was coming, but it was actually a compliment. That was a little strange.
Yeah, I guess.
It wasn't real. When he shakes hands with people and they'll go, all right, we'll do dinner. Okay, okay. He's just the greatest at just telling people to fuck off but being
How many people can you eat with? Christ. Fucking too hot to eat.
They're like, Otto, I love your stuff. He's like, okay, thanks, yeah, we'll do some dinner. Email me, okay?
Oh, God. I know, antisocial schmuck that I am.
But you're in one of the hottest movies coming out.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
This one's big.
Yeah, The Aristocrats comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, too much Billy Connolly, too much fucking horrible comics in that. Just disgusting.
Really? Who don't you like in there?
There's like 70 or 80
Way too
comics
much
in there.
fucking Paul Reiser has nothing to say with his bad hair plugs. Disgusting. And Judy Gold with her fat, dyke, cunt, swollen stomach trying to be funny. Women suck in the first place. Horrible.
You didn't think Paul Reiser was particularly amusing? I have not seen
Nothing to say, no.
No.
Terrible. It was a bad idea from the beginning. 100 comedians telling the same stupid joke. Tedious bullshit, pretentious art house crapola. NC-17. I'm fucked again. I'll never be known nationally.
Never mainstream, no.
Yeah.
Wow, I thought you'd try to sell the movie a little bit for
No,
everybody.
it's good. I mean,
Your
it's
part's
just,
good, though, right?
I thought I did. He didn't really tell me it was going to be a film. So, if I would have put more thought into it, if I knew it was going to be seen or anything. You know?
Yeah, it seems like this thing is really kind of getting a buzz behind it.
Yeah.
It's going to be bigger than I think everybody thought it was going to be when he was filming.
Yeah, they had the premiere right across the street a couple of nights ago. I had to go through a press junket. It was really weird.
Ooh.
Otto, look over here, look over here. And there was a Japanese guy taking pictures, and I said, that guy's going to get the best picture. Nobody got it. It sucked, so I just kept moving. Little Asian joke didn't work.
Did you bring George with you? Or?
Nah, they all said, where's the puppets?
Do you like when you walk into a
Die.
place and they start asking, like, hey, where's George?
Where's George? Oh, yeah, I love that, Jim. I live for that.
He can't just leave you alone.
Oh, it's the best after a gig when they start wanting to talk about the puppet. He just wants to fucking cut their throats.
Yeah, I know.
Where's George? Okay.
Email me.
Okay.
We'll eat.
Email me.
I know.
All right. Do you do you have George with you in the movie, and you just tell a version of the joke?
They shot me in Central Park.
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't find the joke that funny to begin with.
No, it's not a very funny joke.
No, it really isn't.
It's stupid.
But he kept saying, if you don't tell the joke, you're not going to be in the movie. I kept trying to do anything but the joke.
Yeah.
And he said, you just tell the joke once all the way through, and we'll cut something out of it. Penn, he's great at talking you into stuff.
Really?
Yeah. I saw his huge head coming down the street. He was being interviewed, and he's just fucking, that head is just a jukebox up there. It's huge.
So you told it. Did you have a version of the joke, or did you just off the cuff know pretty much what the joke's about and just kind of ad lib?
No, I don't even remember shooting it. It was just I just wanted to get it over with and get out of there.
Yeah.
It was just too much pressure with him and Provenza just giggling and and getting phone calls for their next shoot. I just can't deal with it.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people would kind of know the background of the joke, and if asked to tell it, you could do it. But who's rehearsing this or doing it 20 times a night?
Yeah.
It's just an old bad joke.
Yeah, I know.
And this guy's going to make a mint off of this fucking thing.
Do you think so? I mean,
yeah, I think a lot of people are probably going to go see this thing.
Really?
Even though it's rated X or whatever it is.
NC-17.
It's X.
And then when the DVD comes out, then the DVD comes out, I think it'll get a cult following.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I think this thing is going to take off.
How was Carlin? I heard Carlin was very funny.
Oh, Carlin was great, yeah. He was unbelievable as always.
And then the filthy, who came off as being really the filthiest?
Andy Dick probably was talking about the rusty trombone and really vile stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we're having Andy Dick on the show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is that tomorrow?
I doubt that'll happen, though.
And then Bob Saget next week. And
I heard Bob Saget was pretty nasty in it.
Yeah.
And Rita Rudner, I heard, wasn't dirty. Was she good?
I don't even remember her being in it. She was just clutching a couple of stuffed animals on the couch in her Jew sort of way.
Sorry, this is satellite.
Oh, okay.
Let it rock, man.
That's great.
Puppy, parrots are of no importance.
All right, we got a couple things. Jimmy invited some fan to do the news today.
Well, what happened was...
I like how he didn't say, we invited somebody down here.
Yeah.
Being the collective show we.
No.
It's Jimmy invited someone down.
Oh, yeah, we have no problem throwing each other under the
bus.
bus.
To deflect if he blows.
If I had confidence in that guy out there, then I would say, yeah, look what we did today.
Yeah.
What happened was this. He posted some very funny stuff, big-ass member on Whackbag.
Uh-huh.
Some slightly politically off-color, incorrect things. And I saw him at the Comedy Cellar, and he said, I'd love to come in and do the Aryan News.
Aryan News.
Oh, well, now that has potential.
Now it's got a different title to it. It's not just the news, it's Aryan.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like, you have to email Ben. I gave him Ben's email address. I'm like, see what he says. I would never book anybody because you just don't know what's going on.
Let me back up. The next segment, we invited this guy in. I have confidence in it now.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah,
So
I do.
now we invited this guy
Of
down.
course.
Okay. Aryan News. I guess it's going to be a little...
All right, why don't we get this over? I
politically
mean, let's
incorrect.
see
Here
what
he
this
comes.
guy's all about.
Oh,
And he
looks
posts
just
some
like
very-
a whackbagger should.
Very funny sig pics on Whackbag.
There he is.
Howdy.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? You talked to Otto and George out there?
I nodded, and we made a lunch date.
Now, you look familiar. Have you been at some of the appearances? Couple of things, yeah.
Couple here and there.
How about everything we've ever done?
We've sent security after you a couple of times.
Poe's beating me up.
Poe has, had to escort you from the premises.
Great footage of him in '81 shooting Reagan.
Why would I ever shoot Reagan? He's white.
Oh, okay.
Oh, boy, here
He's
we go.
already warming up. He's
my-
warming up. Now, you do the Aryan News?
I guess so.
And is this your philosophy in life?
Pretty much so, yeah.
Pretty much your philosophy is kind of an Aryan thing.
I guess.
White supremacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What group do you hate the most?
Niggers.
Okay. That really leaves nothing to the imagination there.
This
Yep.
is,
You didn't say it in a way that you might think Puerto Rican.
and you're not doing a bit for the radio. This is really how you feel.
Well, not such a hateful person, but
He's not such a hateful person, but he, yeah.
you
All right,
get
and your
that bell ready.
and your news reflects this.
Yes.
In what way do you cover just stories that are racial or?
Yeah, pretty much so.
Yeah. And I guess they're easy pickings every day, right?
Easy pickings. Just go to those KKK message boards. You can pick them right up.
Oh, really? They make a point of posting a lot of black crime and
Yes.
how they can't control themselves and.
But a lot of people are starting to say though that the news on those on the KKK board is not particularly unbiased. Like it's starting to come out like it's not real journalism.
Really?
Yeah. Originally, people thought it
Wow.
was very unbiased.
You know, they could get in trouble for that.
Yeah, they actually post links to most of the stories. So.
They post links, so it's almost like a KKK version of FARC,
Yes.
where they have the news stories.
Yeah.
And you go and click on a link, and you could read the cute little story about probably a rape or a murder somewhere,
Exactly.
or maybe a lucky homeowner that had a gun that averted that robbery and killed probably a black guy.
Otto, you seem amazed by this guy.
I'm waiting for his spiel, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
Pasty, hate-filled non-person. Go for it.
And where are you from, sir?
I'm from Jersey.
From Jersey,
Yep.
making Jersey proud.
Yep.
What
That's
part of
very
Jersey
good.
are you making proud today?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Did you have a problem growing up? Maybe you were assaulted by black people.
Nah.
No, you weren't.
Nah, I just lived around too many of them.
You look like the kind of guy that might have been beat up a little as growing up.
Nah, I just touched it a little bit.
What's your pleasure, young fella?
You know, maybe that. Were your parents a little racist? Maybe around the house,
Not at all.
blurting out things that were inappropriate.
You know, God forbid they should know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so you can't get it through their thick heads.
Yeah.
That there's a problem with certain people in this country. I understand.
Well, I want to hear the
gotcha.
news, I think.
I certainly would like to hear his news. I don't even think we need a ticker tape for this. I don't want to miss anything.
You need to get that bell ready.
Let me lube it up here. I'm not even going to use it because it's not me saying it, and it's no one involved with this show. This is your news. What's your name, by the way?
Real name or on Whackbag?
Well, just a first name.
How
so
about the Whackbag name? Is good
Whackbag is big ass member.
Big ass member.
Big ass member.
Ron and Fez fan?
Absolutely.
All right.
Fez.
Hey, Fez. Got a racist on the phone. Hi, racist.
Yeah. Exactly. White people are so scared of black people.
Yes.
The band will get back together. Now, let's go.
All right. Black gays mold boycott of
Holy
millions
shit! Wait.
March.
Look at his handshake, dude. Hold your hand out straight.
Oh man.
No, like this.
I love this because these guys are.
Look at his handshake.
I love this because.
Easy boy.
Wait, no, hold the paper and put your hand out. So we can see the whole paper shake.
Now say this.
I love this because these guys are so cocky on the message boards, but you get them live and they
He
just
is
fall
so
apart.
nervous.
Well, he's a fan. He doesn't trash the show. He's
No, I'm not saying
Oh.
that, but just in general.
But he's really shaking.
That's all.
Because these guys hide behind their, their names on these message boards, and they're very brave.
Yeah, a lot of times they are.
Hold that out.
Not
for a second.
saying you in particular, Big S.
No, he comes to the
He
show. He's
is
a real fan.
losing it.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Now just say this: I love you, Norman. You old poop.
I think
I
his
love
mic.
you, Norman, you old poop.
I think his mic has to be turned up.
Turn the guy's mic
Is
up.
there a
Walker,
problem
I'll
with
kick
that?
you in the throat.
Because listeners are
Do you want
complaining.
me to raise it a little bit?
No.
You
Eric,
just got to have good mic technique. Make sure
Okay.
you talk. You don't have to yell, but just make
Eric
sure you're
labeled it
talking
wrong.
right into
Get
it.
close to that big black phallus.
All right, here we
Exactly. All right. Black gays mold boycott of Millions More March. Golfer leader Reverend Willie Wilson, executive director of October's planned Millions More Movement March in Washington, D.C., refused requests by nigger shit-dick leaders to apologize for a July 3rd sermon in which he made disparaging remarks about homosexuals and said lesbianism is about to take over our community. Coon fag leaders are calling for Reverend Wilson to step down from his post after he said gay sex acts ain't natural and go against biblical teaching. He went on to say, "You can't make no connection with a screw and another screw. It takes a screw and a nut."
Wow, you might want to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
You're panicking.
Yeah, you're really
comment.
rambling through that.
Look at the left hand in his pants pocket.
It's
just shaking.
I didn't expect to
I
be
bet his
standing.
hand's all sweaty. Is your palm all sweaty?
Nah, not at all.
No?
You are talking close to 1 million people right now, so just relax.
Doesn't
a little
bother
bit.
me at all.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. Just
You
take
are
a
a
deep
little
breath
nervous.
and move on to the next story.
But speak slower.
yeah, slower.
absolutely.
Like a newscaster would, with your awful racist drivel.
I hate niggers and sit-ups.
Thank you, George.
That would be Otto.
Oh, Otto. Okay.
Yeah.
Waddle.
Otto doesn't need
Otto.
George today.
Oh, God.
Ghetto talent show, water eating contest, outrageous coon
Water
community.
eating?
Water eating.
Watermelon eating.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that makes the story better,
That definitely
doesn't it?
shows the context of what.
And this is a story we wanted to cover, actually, yesterday, and we forgot. So go ahead.
Yeah, Miami leaders are apologizing for a news release that invited summer campers to a ghetto-style talent show and watermelon eating contest. The release said that the children participating in the summer camp who, quote, know the meaning of ghetto style would have a chance to prove just how ghetto they are. Members of the golfer community expressed outrage at the wording and of the invitation to the talent show. Maybe they just called it Calling All Monkeys. The show will now be called the Funky Talent Show, but the watermelon contest will still be part of the event. Nothing can stop a few monkeys from dropping by and enjoying some fresh watermelon.
And listen, you communists and niggers and Jews.
What does that sound like?
Wow.
Tell all your buddies to spread the news. Today, judgment will soon be nigh, as the Lord in his wisdom looks down from on high.
Yeah. That's, wow, you have some really negative opinions of people.
Yeah, I'm sure my grandparents would be turning over in their mass grave right now.
What do you mean?
Wait, what?
Mass grave? Why?
I don't know. Killed in the Holocaust?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you of the Jewish persuasion?
Absolutely.
You're a racist Jew.
Yep.
Let me just let that sink in. He does something he's calling the Aryan News.
Wow.
And you're Jewish. And you're a racist.
Yep.
Deeply disturbed.
Wow.
Get it. Do you have enough C4? I mean, everything said.
I'm not the violent type.
I think Jews are more. Aren't you guys about understanding and
Not
a
this
little
Jew.
more? No, huh?
No.
What do you think about Nazis?
I love them.
You. Wow.
Hitler wasn't all bad. He had good economic policies.
The trains ran on time.
Yes, they did. And they piled up those bodies neatly.
Kill everybody, then social services really won't need.
Wow.
Hi ho, it's off to the ovens we go.
You're a classic.
You are a self-hating Jew.
Absolutely.
You must hate the fact that you're Jewish.
Yeah, kind of.
Because you want to be an anti-Semitic, racist, kind of Nazi guy, and you're Jewish.
We could use a new Holocaust.
Well, you're like a little.
Need to thin the herd a little bit.
You're nervous now.
Holy shit.
Were you nervous when you were playing Spassky in '72 in Reykjavik?
That's a joke.
I got it, Jimmy. That's very funny.
Thanks, Ants.
Let's go to the next story.
In more unfortunate news, a new state study found that the overall number of hate crimes in California dropped 5.5% last year to the lowest number in a decade, but crimes against golfers, spics, and gooks increased. The study found that anti-white hate crimes decreased from 28%, anti-fag crimes fell 22%, and religion-motivated hate crimes dropped 7%. The report shows that not all hope is lost, though. Anti-black hate crimes saw the biggest increase, with about 500, or 35% of the total. Crimes against chinks rose 8%, and anti-spic crimes jumped 34%. Some may call them hate crimes, but this Fair and Balanced reporters calls them acts of heroism.
See, what he's doing right there, he just took that word for word out of the Times.
Yeah. That's plagiarism.
That's exactly how the Times reported it.
We got a lot of reaction.
Oh, yeah.
On the phone.
Okay, go.
Ben's Royask. Go ahead, Ben's Royask. You need some phone so you can hear what's going on, Eric.
I guess it's a racist Jew, right? That makes it okay to be racist.
Oh, because he's Jewish, he feels this is okay to do?
Absolutely.
I like his slacks.
Thank you.
Touchdown.
Right. Child's blood washes right out.
Let's go to Anthony in New York. Anthony.
Oh, will you guys crash this motherfucker? He's killing me. He's a fucking nigger joke. We call 5 black kids in a pile of leaves. Raisin Bran. I'm punching out.
Good one.
John, what's up?
Man, that guy's a piece of shit, man. People like him that screw everything up. You know, teach the kids how to not to get along with other kids in schools and all these little kids that are shooting their classmates and stuff.
It's disappointing to hear a hick that's not a racist.
Ooh, you hear what he said, sir?
You hear what he said, John?
No, I didn't hear him.
It's disappointing to hear a hick that's not a racist.
Yeah, right.
You're losing a few out there, I guess, huh?
Wow. Tip him off, punch it out.
No, I think your hate speech perpetuates this hatred in our country. I think blacks and Hispanics and Asians hear what you're saying, and they get angry with the white people, and it just keeps this cycle of hate going.
Good.
I don't think you're doing a good thing. Are you looking for a race war or something?
Nah, God forbid.
Really?
Yeah.
I would assume you would think that would be a good thing.
Nah.
A race war. It would clean the slate. No?
Nah.
What is your solution to the? Obviously, you have there's a problem you have with blacks and Asians and Hispanics and whatnot. So, what's your solution?
Little slavery.
You think bringing back slavery might help?
Yep.
How you going to get that rolling? Could be a problem.
What we need is more love in the world.
Right. A little more tolerance.
Oh my
A little
God.
more love.
You got another story there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little not an anti-black story, but it's a little hot teen news story.
Uh-huh.
Another child is assaulted in Orlando, this time at a water park. A man followed a 15-year-old Orlando boy into a bathroom at a water park and sexually assaulted him, police said. The teen was showering in the bathroom at the Wet n Wild water park when a man in his 50s approached him and forced him to do sex acts. It was not known if the teen and the man were alone in the bathroom. The man was not caught. The boy reported the incident to his mother, who then alerted park security.
Little liar.
They weren't alone. I was peeking. Kid had abs.
Glory Hole Amusement Park.
The police released a composite sketch of the man Thursday. He's described as white, late 40s, 5'8", and 220 to 240 pounds with a British accent.
Kev, say tea and crumpets.
All right.
And 3 teenage niggers in Titusville, Florida, including a 13-year-old boy, were arrested for allegedly coercing a 10-year-old girl into having sex, according to Local 6 News. Investigators say Jeremy Kent, 18, Jason Glover, 17, and a 13-year-old boy took turns having sex with the girls. The teens were charged with rape and intent to create a mulatto mongrel race. The niggers would let each other know they came by beating on their chests. Kent was placed in Brevard County Jail. Glover and the 13-year-old were placed into the Brevard County Juvenile Detention Center.
Boy, would I love the guy from the Green Mile to just rip his stupid head off. Bleed all over the console.
We're used to that.
Let's say hi to the Jew from whackbag.com. Yes, the Jew.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Hey.
I just wanted to talk to Bam and see why, he's a self-hating Jew.
I don't know.
I don't know. Did your rabbi, rape you when you were in Hebrew school?
That touched me a little bit.
Touch you a little bit? Touch your matzo balls?
You have no answers to why you're like this. There had to be something that happened in your background that kind of made you this way.
Just am.
This type of hatred and intolerance isn't just something you come up with. There's got to be something in your background.
No, really nothing. No good story behind it.
You just hate for the sake of hating.
Just hate.
Let's go to Mike in Jersey. Mike?
Hey, how you doing, Opie Anthony and little Jimmy Norton?
Hello, Mike
I
in
just want
Jersey.
to find out why you got this heeb on there when he's one step above a nigger doing a area news.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, sir, you always figured you'd ask the poignant question.
This brings out the best in the listeners.
Yeah.
You know something? You're a despicable human being, but out of the kindness of my heart, I pardon you.
Let's go to Boston. I'm sure they'll be tolerant here. Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, tell this little fucking douchebag. Look, both my grandparents are fucking Holocaust survivors, and some of the stories I've heard from these people are fucking something this kid couldn't even fucking imagine. So if he ever tried to fucking go through that, I guarantee you he'd be fucking gone in a second. So, you know, dude, I think you need to re-examine where you come from, your roots and shit. Take a hard look at that.
Too bad I don't have any survivors to tell me how great it was.
It wasn't fucking great, dude. A lot of people fucking died, and your fucking ancestors. You're a douchebag, and I think you just sound like a stupid idiot to be fucking saying all this stupid shit. That's all. Fuck now.
Mike in Jersey. Mike?
Yeah, what's going on, fellas?
Hey.
This guy is not from Elizabeth. No way in hell. Elizabeth's full enough for Spanish and black. So what is he talking about?
Tell me about it.
You must keep
Doubt
your
it.
yap shut when you're walking around, though, huh? I can't see you really.
Unfortunately, I don't have much self-control.
You would get the shit
All right,
beat
that's
out
all
of
he's
you.
talking is.
All right, thanks, Mike.
You would get the crap beat out of you.
What do you mean you don't have self-control?
Sometimes my mouth opens up in the supermarket when someone takes what I'm trying to get.
But you're really the furthest thing from a tough guy. I mean, you really are.
I can say that again.
You're you know, kind of
Plump.
a doughy, very good, Kev. A doughy guy, and
You look like Ben Sparks if you were in the Marine Corps.
He does look like a bloated version of Ben.
With the bloated Ben with the shorter hair.
Yeah, sure. All right, you have one more story or what?
Yeah, absolutely. In Tampa, Florida, a nigger who is a registered sex offender is in jail accused of getting an 11-year-old girl pregnant. Hillsborough County deputies say Ardre Smith, or some weird name, got the girl drunk and then had sex with her. Deputies say the coon admitted to the crime during a taped phone conversation with the victim's mother. However, when police heard the tape, all they could hear was a series of grunts. The police used a banana to administer a pregnancy test. It came out half-eaten, and they knew there was another monkey on the way. The zoo administrator said next time he will leave a condom by the cage so the coons are kept in. Tests are being conducted to confirm paternity, but in the black community, nothing is for sure. Crime Stoppers had offered her $500 if she had an abortion.
I've been to the mountaintop.
Wow. You've got it bad, my friend. You have got it bad.
Frightening that people like this exist.
How do you function in life? Especially in, you don't live in the Midwest somewhere where you're surrounded by white people. You have to deal with a very diverse population on a daily basis. How do you do this?
Hey, just deal with it. I mean, what can you do? Am I not supposed to go out and buy groceries?
What was the item they
Apparently
tried to
you don't
take
have
from you in the
problem
grocery
buying any
store?
groceries.
Don't remember.
No.
I'm surprised the puppet's even shocked.
Yeah. George is.
What do you?
George has the mirror.
What do you do for a living there?
I work musician, and I work in media relations.
Media relations. What does your job entail? What do you have to do on it? Give me a day's work.
Day's work would be writing press releases, op-eds for different clients and stuff. And
are some of these
dealing with
clients
press.
of color?
Absolutely.
And you write sparkling endorsements for these people?
Absolutely. It's my job. I gotta,
Hold on 1 second. I got a note from Kev. Isn't Master Poe Spanish?
I love Master Poe, though.
Yes,
Great guy.
You just read it verbatim?
Yes.
Let's get Master Poe in here for a second.
Yes, let's bring Poe in. See how Poe
Poe's
feels.
a good friend of mine.
Is he?
Yeah, help him out every weekend at his school.
Do you know he is a Hispanic gentleman?
Absolutely.
Would you maybe do the Spick story?
I don't have one.
I heard your L.A. one about the California crime dropping had that included in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you could read that one again.
Here, Master Poe, grab that mic.
That's okay. I don't want to get my ass kicked.
Grab that mic.
Hi, Master Poe.
Hey, guys. Did you hear his newscast?
I did.
Yeah, did you hear some of the salty language and some of the inappropriate terminology for certain ethnic groups, one of them being Hispanics?
Yes, I did.
What would you call Master Poe if he wasn't here right now?
I don't know. Master Poe's a good guy.
But now you don't like his type of people.
Nah, God forbid.
But what I'm getting is you don't like people that are Hispanic.
Yeah,
you
they're
called them spics in your report.
I'm a Jew and I call myself a kike. I like myself.
All right, so call Master Poe a spick then.
That's okay. I don't want to get my ass kicked.
See, you're not a tough Aryan though.
God, hell no.
Shouldn't you be a tough guy?
No.
It's so easy when you have a microphone and you're broadcasting from a studio. Wait a minute, to millions of people to use words like nigger and kike and chink and spick. But then when you have one guy
who could,
in the studio next to you,
who could kill me?
Well, regardless if it's somebody who could kill you or not, it's just one guy that is Hispanic. Why not let the word spick fly?
No reason not to.
Why not? Why don't you call Master Poe a spick? I'm sure he'd love to hear it.
Is he gonna hurt me?
No, I don't know. I can't predict the future. I don't know what this gentleman might do to you if he hears something that offends him. And
nah, I'm not gonna offend Poe. He's a good guy.
No, just to go. Maybe it would help if you go. I'm a kike and you're a.
I'm a kike and you're a spick.
Holy Jesus Christ!
Damn.
Oh boy.
So,
Master Poe, you do have permission.
So Aaron, are you coming down to my school?
Absolutely.
All right.
Aaron? Is your name Aaron?
Yeah.
That couldn't be a more Jewish name.
God.
Because we're gonna have a fight back.
Oy vey.
Could you give him a hold that'll really hurt, but not hurt him?
Sure.
But not hurt him,
Just watch. I got bad knees. So.
Yeah.
All right, give him a hold. No, Mike, Aaron.
We don't need that.
Yeah.
Give him
hold.
Give him one
like
of those
a submission hold,
where he will scream,
No,
but won't hurt him permanently.
Oh, shit, this
His
is gonna hurt.
glasses off.
Well, you can't hurt him.
No, he knows.
More than
Master Poe knows. There's a few things you could
Done
do.
this to me in his school a couple times.
All right, give him a good one, please. There's a lot of people out there that would love to. So far, nothing.
Is that unpleasant?
No.
He doesn't want to yell.
And that's as far as you can go before it's
Do you want to yell? Or...
I don't want my hand broken. I'm a musician.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, we don't want to break his hand. No. We can't break his hand.
It is bending really far.
Can I ask you something? Would this hurt?
It would hurt a hell of a lot if you pushed down a quarter more inch.
Give it an 8.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Give him an 8.
What about this? Will this hurt?
Yeah.
You said yay. What was yay?
Yeah.
You said yay.
It started to hurt.
Oh, it started to hurt, but you said yay.
I was saying yeah in pain.
Yeah. Is that Jewish? Yeah.
Ah, fuck. Oh. And it's just one fucking little finger he's bending back.
Okay, hold on. One more time.
Poe's holding his right arm.
I would never hurt you. Come on.
Oh, no, not the nose. Fuck. Oh.
He's holding the man. He's holding him back. He's like pushing his nose a little bit.
Pushing his nose back.
Jimmy likes this one.
Oh, no, not the fish hook. Oh, fuck. Oh!
More!
Wow.
The fish hook hurt.
Holy shit.
That was really unpleasant. Poe was holding his nose. He was holding him by his nose, and then he put his hand in the guy's mouth and fish hooked it a bit.
Fish hooked him.
Oh.
The guy is in pain.
No, it's okay.
That's great. He's sorry.
One more?
Yeah.
Yeah, one more.
Oh, God damn it.
Wow.
Yeah. Was that painful?
My jaw is killing me.
He grabbed his head and kind of nuzzled it.
But that was all a demonstration, right? I didn't hurt you.
No.
You're not going to the hospital.
No, it hurt and then it goes away.
Poe could rip his head right
Of course
off.
he could.
Like, just tear it off.
Is he gonna flip me now?
No.
Oh, you want him to flip you?
No.
Yeah, call him something else.
Poe, give him one more. One more before you.
How did you, Paul? How did you grab him? I don't want to see him get hurt, but how did you grab him? Like if he's giving you his arm, but how did you grab him? Like if he didn't give you his arm, if you were just standing there,
If he didn't?
without grabbing him for real, like how would you do it? Like because he's giving you his arm and going here.
Is he a bad guy? Is he ready to attack?
Yeah, he's a bad guy. You want to subdue his arm. Oh, man. Right in the face.
Oh, fuck. That's my wrist. Oh, that's my finger. That's my nose, Eric. Fucking rammed it with a microphone.
He just twists his arm like a pretzel in a matter of a second.
But it was a quick grab of the arm. And
Yeah.
the next thing you know, the arm is fucking really bent and
Ah,
unpleasant.
fuck, that hurts. Shit.
He's just rubbing your arm.
And it fucking hurts.
How funny is it to watch Poe just kicking his ass?
But then after each one, this is what Poe does after he fucking dismembers you. Gives you a little pat.
Yeah, good.
It's all right.
That's nice.
It's all right, kid.
You took my beating like a man.
Well, we want to
Very
thank
good.
Aaron for stopping by.
Aaron, with your
I think.
Aryan racist news. That was horrible.
Really want to thank Master
The wrist
Poe
is hurting
for
a little, isn't
making
it?
him hurt a bit.
A little bit.
Otto, what do you think?
Otto.
Jesus.
That was very interesting. That shot that almost hit him looked very dangerous.
That's what
That
Poe would
punched him.
do.
Wow.
He'd disarm you by just nailing you in the nose, so now you're taken out of the picture, and then he ties your arm up like a pretzel, and you're in just huge amounts of pain.
Well, I had to distract him.
Yeah, you distract him, grab the arm, done.
Because he's a big guy, scary looking.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Master
thank you
Poe. Thank you
very
Aaron.
much, Poe.
We got to take a quick break, and then we'll end the Opie and Anthony
That was
program.
an ugly arm grab, man. Oof. Wow.
Otto and George in studio today.
Like sand through the hourglass, so is the Holiday virus.
We got some audio from Zach Wilde. There's so much here. I don't know which ones to play. What do you think, Steve? What tracks are the?
You got.
How are you dealing with the heat? Is that good?
Nah, that was at first just because Zach and his whole crew he rolls with are all dressed up in tight black leather, vests and.
Did you just say his crew that he rolls with?
You gotta see these. Yeah, I did say that. Sorry. He's got his whole entourage is roll.
Ramon, bring me some hip hop dialect.
That was hip hop.
That was worse than that shit you just took. Wouldn't you just say the guys he hangs out with?
Yeah, he's rolling with.
But it's crew
He and his boys, word is bond, we're very hot.
His posse, if you will.
Correct. Let's see the.
We gotta hear who he rolls with. Give me that sandwich. I want to mush it in Steve's eye.
Zach to the wild.
Zach to the wild.
Oh, he talks about.
Now, Zach, y'all been playing for quite a while.
Y'all been representing. You're finding it hard to hold it down.
I want to paralyze you with a rock.
Opie and Anthony, the virus is spreading.
All right. A little low. What's up with that? Otto and George in the studio today.
Oh, yes. Out of the studio.
Huh?
And Aaron is out of the studio.
Yes. Gone.
Licking his wounds.
Why do tigers lick each other's assholes in Africa? To get the taste of niggers out of their mouth. Get it?
Disgusting person.
Yeah, he was, oof. He was a little much.
Creepy.
A little much.
Vermin that's attracted to radio. Jesus.
And he had nothing to back it up. That's the weird part. Nothing that happened to him or...
I know. Usually there's something in the background. Robbery, rape.
All right, we have a new bit where we just have Travis, one of our guys. He sits around and watches TV all morning. And
That's what he was hired for, huh? To watch TV.
And he just finds interesting stuff that we could kind of goof on. You know? It could be wacky, it could be serious, it could be just the fear crap. You know the deal. And it's a bit we like to call Travis TV.
Look at him, he's yelling at Eric for headphones now. Headphones, Eric. I'm a star, goddammit.
The rest of the guys are going to be very upset because this is the first bit we're actually naming after another person that works
Wow,
for us.
really?
Why don't we do that?
Travis
Put
TV.
Put the mic over there so Otto doesn't have the cord in his back.
No, they're just hoping it fails miserably with his name on it.
Especially Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're going to work Than's name into some of the bits he's doing for the show.
Mm-hmm.
fans, bombs, and flubs of the O&A show. I don't know. Something
Yeah,
like
that rolls off the tongue.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. We'll figure
Fan.
something out. So you were watching TV. What'd you find today?
I found something about. Yeah, sorry. I found.
Oh, that was really nice. Eric just pointed at the mic, and that was a real good jab. Hey, stupid motherfucker.
You're talking to
that.
this thing.
And the best part was we heard him perfectly clear.
Perfectly clearly, Eric.
No, it's this group called Love in Action, and what they do is it's a church-type group, and they try to turn gay people straight.
Ooh.
Yes. And so basically describes what it is, and then there's two guys that both went to it, and one of them is now quote-unquote straight, and the other is against the group.
So they were both gay.
Yeah.
The one guy went to get fixed, and now he's against this whole Love in Action thing.
Nothing scarier than a gay guy who thinks he's been cured of being gay
right.
because you just ain't been.
Well, the guy who thinks he's cured, I think Gerard or something, he knows he's not.
Really?
Yeah.
But he thinks he is?
Hear, yeah.
All right.
All right, why don't we get to the audio
They
here?
have a kit they give all members. It's a Bible and a hammer. Just go talk to them for a little while.
All right. In this clip, they explain what Love in Action does.
We do believe that homosexual behavior is a chosen option.
Love in Action claims to conduct reparative therapy, hoping to rid clients of homosexuality.
Our mission is to be a Christ-centered ministry for the prevention or treatment of unhealthy and destructive behaviors, which includes same-sex attractions.
But how do they deprogram you and reparent you?
I guess they know how to do it through
Do they explain
Jesus.
that?
Yeah, they since it's all guys, no eye contact is allowed. They don't let anybody talk to anybody. They just try to get you away from guys.
What are they doing? Is this a group thing?
Yeah.
So they bring a bunch of gay men together, and all they're thinking about is fucking one another.
Yeah. And don't look at his eye. Just stare below the belt.
Yeah. They always go, it's an alternative lifestyle. Don't you think being Amish is an alternative lifestyle? Sucking a cock is a conscious decision. Right? A cock.
All right, well, here's Brandon. He went there to get fixed, and now he's so against this whole thing.
I mean, they help you take apart your life, and they sort of tear you down by sharing these moral inventories in the hopes that they'll release shame from your life, which just doesn't happen.
No. That doesn't sound like it would work if you're really love man ass. That ain't going to happen.
Are they in a classroom or are they in a camp?
Yeah, where do they do this?
I think it's more like a camp thing.
Camp.
Ooh.
It's all fun and camp and
Showers must be lovely.
Short shorts.
Don't look into each other's eyes. You don't want to break the rule. You're just staring at his pubic hair.
They're all dressed like the fag in This Boy's Life with the fucking little Boy Scout scarf tied around the neck gently. I shoot for the pink team.
They have to get 50 showers so they don't shower together. There's 50 of them.
500 bars of soap laying on the floor. You're not allowed to pick them up. I told you to leave that alone.
Yeah, brand new bar has to be unwrapped again.
Wow.
All right,
more Brandon here.
I think it's absolutely wrong. The faith community can no longer continue to embrace programs like this that promote exclusion when Christ promoted inclusion in his kingdom.
Yeah, they get that whole religious angle, and
So I wonder, are they just throwing guilt at you and saying it's wrong if you're a Christian?
Yeah, pretty much that, this is your choice because, God doesn't make you this way. And
yeah, no matter what they say, no matter how much the gay guy is saying, look, I'm like this. I didn't choose to be. This is what I'm attracted to, and that's it. They will probably say, no, you're choosing this. All you need is to let Jesus in your life. And
the beautiful thing is, look, I hate to break it to anybody, but if Jesus was around, long hair, and he would have been a flaming liberal. Honest to God, he would.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Jesus would have appreciated the gay lifestyle.
He would have been tolerant of it. He would have been a flaming liberal.
Yeah.
He would have annoyed me. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Tolerant. That was all it was about. Loving everybody. He would have been a flaming.
Yeah, but
nice
that Catholic
guy
Church got the hands on that preaching and the Bible and interpreted it and said no gays allowed.
Hey, forgave the criminal on the cross. The guy's like, I think you are who you say you are. He's like, all right, it's all good. Come on.
He stole something. He wasn't sucking cock.
Doesn't matter.
Big
Maybe
difference.
eventually he would have.
Big difference, Jimmy.
All right. Here we go. Gerard. He went...
Gerard.
He got fixed.
So this guy's cured.
Yeah, the other guy doesn't believe in the program at all. This guy got fixed. He used to be a gay guy.
Cured of the gay.
And now he loves women.
Change is definitely possible for people who desire it. It does not change attractions, but it does change behavior.
Guy still loves the cock. Guy still wants the cock. Guy don't touch the cock. Now it's all about the pussy.
It doesn't change attractions.
No. So this guy is saying, look, I still just love the man ass, but I'm going to try out the chicks.
He loves women with a few adjustments.
Yeah. Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Big Dick Daddy. Wants his woman to wear a strap-on. And, and not shower for a few days.
Smell a little manly, a little musky.
Jesus. More Gerard.
You say you have guardrails now
Right.
that will help you marry a woman? And what does this mean?
I have guardrails for my behavior, not for my attractions, but for my behavior. So there are certain things that I don't want to do based on my faith. And there's hundreds of thousands of people just like me that have these same guardrails.
So it's keeping him on the road to heterosexuality.
Man, there's a lucky gal out there and doesn't know what's waiting for her.
Instead of hitting like an oil slick, spinning off the road, going through the guardrail and landing in a man's asshole. He needs the guardrails to guide him. That's fantastic. Whatever gets you through your day, sir.
We deal with people who want help, who want to change, and the people that we deal with before they come in our program most often report feelings of depression, suicidal thoughts. That was certainly my experience before the program.
But is some of that because of shame?
Absolutely, because they're engaged in behavior that they don't want to be engaged in.
Don't want to be, or
you think he blurts out things like he's trying to? You can't hide the attraction, like he's kissing a girl and fucking her, and he yells out, "Put your big cock in my mouth." She says, "What?" And he goes, "Nothing."
Say anything? And you know he's looking, walking
do
down
they
the
like
street.
paper off, or do they have to stop like on time?
Did he stop cold turkey?
Yeah.
Or did he like?
It's like Nick. It's like that smoking cessation thing. You can only suck up to the helmet in the third week.
You wear a little patch of cum on your arm, let it soak in.
Eventually, you get down to Asian cocks.
Week 4, no more bag tickling. Damn it, I love that part.
That's hilarious.
Nicorette gum. It's like a little gummy cock. You just chew it, spit it out.
Cum flavored.
Wow.
Based on my experience, I did not want to embrace homosexual behavior because that was not what I wanted to do based on my deep-rooted faith. So this program helps me align my actions with my faith.
Put some rock salt in his Vaseline. That'll learn him.
But he still likes men, wants to have sex with men. He's just chosen not to.
Right.
To stay in line with his religion now.
So what he does now is when he's going down on a girl, he'll like force out a huge shit and then suck it back in and force it back out. So this way no one gets hurt.
Oh God.
One more clip. We're running out of show. That's why I want to push forward here.
Jesus.
Should we force people into this program?
Should a child, should a teenager, should anyone be forced into the program by their parents or just even coerced?
We respect the parents' responsibility
Suck
to raise
that
their
cock.
child as they see fit.
I think there are major concerns that parents should not feel forced. I mean, the parents felt shamed by the church to do this, and I think it's unfortunate that they had to make the decision they made. It's very dangerous.
It's also important to note that we don't have any kind of guards, no locked doors. The teens are not forced to be there.
But the child is still submissive to the parents' wishes and to the financial and all the other ties that go there. It's not like you can just pick up and leave one day.
But we all agree that teens don't always want to do things. I mean, should teens not be allowed to go to school because they don't want to go to school? Of course not.
They strap him into a chair like Clockwork Orange and hold his eyes open, and every time they show two cocks bumping, they electrically shock him. This time tomorrow, you'll be healthier still.
It sucks. We're just getting going, and we got 20 seconds left in the show. Otto, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me by.
Good luck with the Aristocrats.
Wait, any gig this weekend, or are you just hanging out?
Yeah, I'm working at a place in Pennsylvania called Bruise Brothers.
Okay.
Then I got some Bananas dates coming up in August. Thank you.
All right.
Great,
Stay
Otto
tuned.
and George.
Yes, absolutely.
Come back soon, please.
Thank you, Jimmy.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Opie and Nancy.
Everybody go home.